Good evening, race fans. Good evening, sports fans. Good evening, SimSational TV fans. And welcome back to another broadcast here on a Sunday afternoon. We've just stepped off the SimSational private jet. And I'll tell you what, it is hot and muggy up here in sunny North Queensland. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gents, we are on for an absolute cracking evening of sim racing here at the Gen 3 Australian V8 Supercars Championships. And I'm joined by no other than the man, the myth, the absolute legend there. It is Zach O'Reilly. Everybody clap him in.
Well, I can hear the applause from the grandstands. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. But it's great to have you beside me, Christopher Munro, for tonight. Welcome, viewers. And I'll tell you what, we are excited for this one. Townsville is a quick sling around this circuit. 1 minute, 14, 13 laps, whatever you want to do. Yeah, and we have got some special transitions for you tonight. I'll give you the hot tip. It's going to be day to night, ladies and gentlemen. So stick around for the night action. And I reckon Christopher as well. We're going to be in for a treat with a very, very tight grid. And the Super 2 guys, I'll tell you what, have been mixing it with some of the times in the Tier 1 boys. So it is on like Donkey Kong for tonight. I'm excited, Chris. This is going to be one ripper of a round.
Yeah, absolutely, Zach. You mentioned the some of the top times there in the Super 2 server. They're rivaling some of the top five in the main grid. So that's great to see that the Tier 2 guys are getting their heads around these machines and really putting in the hard work there in practice. So it's great to see. But let's have a look at the standings there for Tier 2 because they're going to be the first ones up tonight. So let's have a look at their oh no, it's the wrong one. We'll get rid of that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. I'll fix that and we'll get that up before we kick off. But what we will do is we're going to go racing and let's see if we've got this one right, ladies and gentlemen. And this one's worked, ladies and gents. It is Townsville Street Circuit. That's where we're at. 13 turns, 2.86 Ks. It's a quick fire draw McGraw. That's the one. 11-minute qualifying. So you've got to be out there, get your track position and put in a hot lap. Tier 2 is up first with a 30-minute exchange there. Mandatory compound change as well, so they've got to venture down through the pit lane, and it's a tricky one, ladies and gentlemen. We hope not to see a blockage there at the start, but I've seen one there before. For the Tier 1, the main grid event, we'll be starting off with an 11-lap sprint on the soft tyre only. That'll sort out the men from the boys. 20 laps for Race 2, and that will be set from the results of Race 1. Race 3 will be 53 laps for the main event for tonight. Mandatory pit, mandatory compound change. And I'll tell you what, the old king, Scott Cordham himself, has been the fastest bloke out there during the week, a 1:13.213. So he's starting to get his head around these Gen 3 supercars as well, Zach.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. And we will be in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. Don't you worry about that. With the transitions coming to the night time and then also a bit of daylight action with all the races coming your way. It's going to be very interesting. But keep an eye out for Turn 2 or a la Turn 1, the main braking zone for tonight. They've been briefed, Christopher, that it is no nonsense applied through that section on the opening lap, else they will be gonskis.
Oh, yeah.
And the race directors are going to be all over that one tonight. But it's going to be interesting, ladies and gents. You know what it is, though, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for us to get cracking into this event, I think. Let's get racing as we've already gone through and get into Townsville, Christopher Munro.
I'll tell you what.
What are we going to see for this one?
Yeah, before we do that, I've actually just fixed the standings, so we can take a quick look at the standings here for Tier 10 set in the fair income department. Braden, the Madman Moore, is on top now with the promotion of Schmel and Warwick. So he takes over the lead of Tier 2. He's got Luke Brock just nipping at his heels, 100 points behind. Hayden Wallace up there in the top 3. Bill, the 10K man, team leader there for 10K racing. And those two boys doing really well for themselves as well, both up into the top 4. Justin Foolis there in 5th with Joel Ashiak, Clayton Waters, Jimmy Park up there in the top 10. What a universe are we living in? We got the big dog up there in the top 10. It's great to see. Dax Daniel follows him with Gaz Pozzi rounding out the top 10, Zach.
Oh, definitely. You got Johnny Singleton hot on the heels as well, switching cars as well. He's in a Toyota tonight instead of the old Mustang. So
nice.
Look out for him. Ryan Nielsen, Banachek, very close on points, only 44 split them. DeLuca is back into the Tier 2 grid, and he's in 14th place collectively. The Chef, 15th. Fabian Fenton is trying to get his grips with the car, very close between himself and the Chef there as well, 15th and 16th respectively. Lee Crowther, Jojo Higgins, Steve Harrison, and Richard King rounding out that top 20 for the race night tonight. Where will they end up by next round at Sebring? Who goddamn knows?
Yeah, it could. This track is going to throw up some different racing styles tonight as well. These street circuits really can throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Proverbially, oh God, we're only just kicking off tonight, and English has left the building. That's all right. We're going to have some fun here tonight here at SimSational TV. But I think the guys are just getting their last setup changes ready for race 1 of the evening. It is the Super 2 for their half an hour race. So what are we going to do? We're going to go and fill up our drinks, get your snacks bowl ready, because there's some exciting action just around the corner for race 1 in Tier 2. Don't go anywhere. And we are down on circuit, ladies and gentlemen. 4 minutes to go. So we are just waiting for all the drivers to join the server currently. But while we do that, let's go through the grid. Starting from row 10, we've got Tony DeLuca and Clayton Waters. I always get that wrong. Cam Waters in a Gen 3 supercar. It's got to be. Jimmy Park there in 18th with Fabian Fitness lining up behind him. And in front of those guys is row 8. We've got Rick Zach and Fakuri. In front of those guys, Joel Ashiak and Gaz Pozzi. In front of them, we've got Wallace and Sean North off row 6. Off row 5, Liam Hanley. A pretty good qualifying result for him as well, with Justin Fallis next to him. Excuse me. Row 4, here we are up the pointy end. Matt Munro in 7th position. Bill Kosmarikis in 8th. In front of them, we've got Rick Banachek off the 3rd row with Braden Moore next to him. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lee Crowther in 3rd. Sam Spencer in 4th. And the front row consists of Glenn Morris and Matthias Falzon takes pole position there during the week. The Flying Falcon, the Maltese Falcon, is ready to pounce on this race. Zach, Super 2, it's pretty pointy up that end.
It's very pointy, and keep in mind that some of these guys as well on track right now could be mixing it with the Tier 1 guys on their own relative pace. They would be inside the top 10. So this is not going to be a slouch, ladies and gentlemen, whatsoever. This race is going to be an absolute barnstormer. Hopefully, by the time these guys get into their rhythm, with any carnage that does not come to fruition at the end of turn 2, effectively, or the main braking zone here, we can have a ripping 3 or 4-way battle for the end. And the strategies are going to be different too, Christopher. They're going to be real different. Some people are opting to go a soft and then pit. There is unfortunately, my graphic has stuffed up, completely ruined that one.
Yeah.
There is no mandatory compound change, ladies and gentlemen, but it is mandatory start on the softs. So see how long they last, and then try to stick it out for a hard sesh if you come in for a pit, or just go the whole way on it on the 2 softs, and it could be your race to be won, done, and run. So keep your eye out for that stuff.
Yeah, about halfway through. What's that, around 15-minute mark? So you keep an eye out on the pit lane. You'll see the guys that want to do the early pit and do the undercut. I think that might be the ticket here around Townsville Street Circuit. But as we said before, you don't want to leave it too late, because you can get hung out to dry. And this is one of the trickiest pit lane entries on the calendar as well. I remember when I was racing here, we saw an absolute pile-up into the pit lane, and the road was blocked. There was no way to get through at all. So you don't want to find yourself amongst any of that business. So it gives the Super 2 guys something to think about as well. While they're out there driving, they're trying to keep an eye on the lap times around them, and just try and figure out when the perfect time to hit that pit lane will be.
Well, yeah, we're going to be looking at this one. I'll tell you what, the chat is going absolutely off its jocks here at the moment. We've got so many people. We've got Kirsty Hanley in there. We've got Nathan Hughes. We've got Stephen JP Racing, Galaxy Bleps in there as well. Then we've got Urban Tomfoolery as well in there. Fabian's in there too. Mozza Plays Games, Hayden Wallace. Grey Water as well. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong here. What a race we're going to see here. 30-minute slingshot around Townsville, Christopher Munro.
Yeah.
Under half a minute to go, ladies and gentlemen. The revs are starting to climb. Everyone's just got in the server. We are about to go racing here at Townsville. Strap in and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, keep an eye out for turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, pretty much all the turns around this circuit. It's a tight one. The walls are close, but the racing, I've got a feeling, is going to be even closer. We're just about ready for a start now. The lights are up on the screen here for the Gen 3 Supercars Australian Championship here. Brought to you by AK Racing, and we are off underway. And Jojo Higgins has been booked there for a false start, so they will have to go through the pit lane one more time. But look at this at the front. We got Falzon and Morris just side by side. But look at the start from Crowler. He has just gone straight through, and he might even look for a bit of a send here. There, oh my goodness, there's been, oh geez, who is that? Spencer's just tagged the back of Crowler, but they managed to get through. Braden Moore just behind them with Matt Munro and Banachek going side by side. Now we'll have to get the top view. They are tight as a bloody spinning top here at the moment. Look at these two. Hanley on the outside, Banachek on the inside now for the next run. They're going to go side by side here. Banachek just sending it. He might go for the up and under here is Fowlis actually, and he'll go just sailing around the outside. Beautiful stuff there, but there's been a check up the front. That was Crowther. Spencer has come together again. Oh no, that's Fowlis has been touched again by who's that? Crowther there in the Castrol livery, just having a bit of a bumper cars moment here through the second half of this track. But look at as they come streaming through. Who is side by side? Fabian Fitness now just with Postlethwaite and Wallace battling away in front, but they are going to go side by side as well. Look at this, Postlethwaite around the outside. That's where you kind of want to be in this part of the circuit, because he can send it up in that final turn here. And there is there's a warrant, an errant SimSational TV van out there on the track as well. That's no good. But there are, oh no, there's Fitness and Wallace here tied up. There goes Fitness around for the first time. There's a car stopped in the middle of the track as well. What is going on? Falzon leads with Glenn Morris in second, and then Daylight to third to Spencer.
That was disaster. That was Gary Postlethwaite up there, and I don't know what happened to him. He's completely gone down the grid. And we can see them still racing on here. No love lost. Drive through taken for Jojo Higgins there as well. So, unfortunately for Jojo, going to have to take a pit strategy genius to get himself back up into maybe the top 10 position. But Samuel Spencer as well, really driving now. And we've got even more carnage. Bill Cosmo's been turned around. So is Joel Ashak there as well. And they're looking at each other, swearing and carrying on, effing and jeffing probably. Bill's just sending it into the wall. Does not give a rat's toss bag about the damage. But look at Fabian now. Oh, bit of a side swap there into the wall as well. Trying to get his way around DeLuca in front of him. Finally got a livery for DeLuca. Holy mackerel. Matt Munro's come a proper too. He's in the wall. And look at that front splitter. It is on a right angle for sure now. And he's peeling off into the in. Oh, no. Not as... What's going on here? Christopher Munro has been kicked from his own race here. We are in trouble in the broadcast department.
Well, okay, here we go. We're going to have to just bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why that has happened. Goodness me.
Oh,
all right. Yeah, well, the action goes on and continues, and I'll just bring up the live timings on my screen. Falzon is in the lead, ladies and gentlemen.
He is.
Morris is in second by about 2 or 3 tenths. They're pretty close now on the track. We're going to get back out there and see the action. Where are we up to? Wow, what an absolute... there we go. Yeah, here we go.
He's having a good old-fashioned tussle with Braden Moore, and I'll tell you what, these guys are going hammer and tong. Matt Munro's early retirement. I can hear him over the race director's channel saying, nah, I'm out of this one, boys. So no Munro in this one. But Banachek versus Moore. Cracking little battle here. You can see Moore, he just made a mistake, and Banachek got up right on his clacker here. Who can navigate this section very, very cleanly? It's about 4 or 5 tenths worth. If you do get it right through here to make an overtake happen into the next hard braking zone as we come up into turn 11. And that's not Banachek's game at the moment. Maury's on the slide, though, coming in. So a little bit how's your father, and that's going to send him wide. Banachek's got up beside him, and that is a P6 done for Rico Banachek. Banana Rama, as we call him. loving life now inside the top 6. Maury will be spewing about that one, but we've still got 26 minutes left of racing. Richard King is having a barnstormer at the back here at the moment. You can see Wallace trying to look up the inside there of Rick Zack, and he's got that job done easy as you like. Rick Zack's going to lose probably 2 places out of this. Cosmo's involved in this one too, so he's trying to play his way back through the field, but Richard King into the pits early and just on a different strategical alternate to the rest of them as well. So keep an eye out for him later on in the race, but that's going to be hairy. In fact, it doesn't look like he's going too quick. Maybe something on the error side of things coming his way, unless I'm mistaken, but nonetheless, not the way you want to go to racing, but this is how you want to go. 2 by 2 coming into turn 3. DeLuca up the inside. He's got the job done there on Jimmy Park. Two of the older statesmen of 8K Racing in a way. Look at Jimmy Park go. Just got it way up the inside and said, see you later, alligator. Got past DeLuca easy you like. He's overcooked it into the turn 6 and 7 chicane, but he's got a job done beautifully there, and he's gapped him already in. DeLuca has Jimmy Park. Beautiful racing from the both of them, but the gap at the front is decreasing. It was 1.9 seconds. Now it's only a second between Falzon and Morris. Keep your eyes out for that one. But these two right now, oh no, we got the car off. Oh, that was disaster. I saw it in the background there. Some car was up on its side wheels and gone into the outfield. That's car number 21 as they got it sorted. I'm not too sure, but look at this one. Rico Zack's got done by Joel Ashak there straight away. Is there a safety car on board at the moment? I cannot hear it in the race director's department, but geez, racing is happening up and down the field here at the moment. You can see them all just tussling for position. Jimmy Parks versus Fabian Fitness now only under 8/10 of a second, and the lead is under a second too, ladies and gentlemen. Look out for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's check out how Falzon is travelling out in front, just falling into the clutches of Glenn Morris here in the early stages of this race. But since then, it's all just kind of spread out behind them. They've got Mum's Washing on the line. It is all spread out there. But Falzon just doing a good job at the moment. We're gonna ride on board and we'll go for a hot lap of Townsville while we've got a bit of a lull in the racing department, but I doubt we'll get a full lap out of it before we get some action happening down the back. But let's ride on board here. This is through the final turn, ladies and gentlemen, a Townsville street circuit, and it's a tricky one indeed. So let's go firing down the main straight. That gap is now 1.2 seconds, so a very strong third sector there from Falzon, but he pulls in through the gears, up and into 4th, into 5th, probably just grabs 6th as well by the time they hit the braking marker there, just at about 100 metres. This is a hard one to get right, but look at that, makes it look easy there. The Maltese Falcon indeed. Coming up now to turn 3. This one's a tricky one. You can take a bit of curb as well. In these cars, they love it. Don't you worry about that. But whoa, just got to avoid that big pothole there on the outside. That is true to real life as well. There's a big pothole there in real life, but they do the best here in the sim world. And taking it right out to the edge of that concrete apron there into the fast little chicane. You just send it through on the brakes. Look for a point where you can get on that throttle. And you can see the throttle trace down the bottom there. Very nice and smooth there from Falzon, if not maybe a little aggressive. But he's probably got the car set up to do that, and that's the place to do it around here. A little bit of smoke coming out of the front right tyre there, coming in through the last sector now. And I tell you what, it's pretty hard to pull the car up here once the tyres get a little bit smoky, which they are. You can see the smoke coming up from the front left there as well from Matthias Falzon. He was actually purple through the first sector. He goes across the line. That is a 1:14.7, pretty quick. But Glenn Morris goes 2/10 quicker, so the hunt is on for the lead now. He's just trying to just wear him down corner by corner.
Yeah, definitely, and you can see the difference. If you get the final turn right, as Chris, you said, very difficult one to get right. You can gain or lose 5/10 of a second straight out of that corner. So as these tyres start to degrade, and you get to that point where you think, oh, gee, I might have a oh, no, speaking of degrading, poor old Bill Cosmaricas again falling ill. Somehow or another, just caught him at the last minute there in 19th place. Absolute shocker for him. Joel Ashak, however, he's trying to get back onto the tail end of Gary Potts's and Jacob Kelly line astern there too. So a little bit of a battle down in the back here, starting to brew as we see them come through the turn 1 into turn 2 section here of Townsville. And you can see right now, look at that under brakes there from Potts's under Kelly, just gone straight away. Oh, no, there goes Kelly into the fence. He's done. He's out of that one. Poor old him. He's out of that one too. But now Postlethwaite's got another thing to think about too. He's just seen that, so he's on the gas already early, trying to get his way out of the pothole section and into the fast chicane section we've got now. What can Ashak do in the background there? Not too much at the moment. You can see the car behaviour just so squirrely here. In fact, more squirrely than Pamela Anderson's bumhole at the best of times. But look at this! No way! Sam Spencer has been pulled out of this one. He is falling down the grid at a rate of knots. That is disaster. And look at the culprit in front of him.
Yeah,
if
guilty.
that is not someone guilty as charged there for Lee Crowther and Sam Spencer. Oh, goodness gracious me. Poor old Lebo. He won't be too happy at this stage to redress that one. But I'll tell you who is happy. This man, Fabian Fitness, flying through the order here at the moment. Realistically got the chockies here over Clayton Waters under braking. If he can get it pulled up nicely, he does. But Clayton just cuts the nose off him straight away and says, nah, not having that one. And it's battle on again here. Turn 3 coming up. Now into the turn 4 section we go. Heavy braking zone. Right-hander coming their way. Who gets through there nicely? Both of them do. You can see on board here from Fabian Fitness just hammering it in second gear, into third, now into fourth. Heavy braking zone now, third gear just before that little section. Fabian opts to take the curb there. You can see how much it hurts him as well, so he might want to do that for the next one. But you can see Clayton Waters really dancing the car through this section here. So is Fabian, right on the limit as well. And as we come through the next section, whoa, geez, that's insane stuff. You can see the run that Fabian gets when he just takes his time over the tram lines. We go oversteer as we see it. Here comes Fabian now. He's getting up a move. Is he going to dummy poor old Waters into a defensive mood? He doesn't. Clayton just keeps it on the racing line, and that is the best way to go racing here. Don't dummy yourself into something, but Fabian is really on the charge. He does not give a rat's toss bag. He will try everything, and he doesn't get it into turn 1, but he's overcooked it. Has poor old Clayton Waters. Now Fabian's got to get the power down smoothly. Can he get the job done? No, he can't. He was full squirrely and tail slidey on the exit there at turn 1, and that is the difference, ladies and gentlemen, of getting yourself a move done. Into turn 2 we go. Or not. And Clayton's on the defensive already. Fabian on the charge into P10 at the moment. Cracking stuff.
He's going great guns at the moment. He's probably gone up about 10 positions on the start. So he's found himself a little bit of a roadblock here with Clayton Waters willing to just throw the kitchen sink into the defensive department. And why not? You've got 18 minutes to go. Every position counts, ladies and gents. This is the second closest battle on the screen. There's one just down the back here between Wallace and Kai McConnell as well. So we're right aboard with Wallace. And just see, oh, look at that. Oh, McConnell just taking a fair bit of curb and a bit of grass as well. The suspension on that Mustang just giving no more. It cannot go. Here he goes. Oh, Wallace looking up the inside. Gets the nose cut off, but I think this is a sitting duck here. McConnell, just that the body language of that Mustang just does not look very good here at the moment, and just biding his time before Wallace can make the move. He's showing the nose. They're both locking them up, but there goes Wallace, just applying the pressure, applying the blowtorch, as they say, and just upsetting the rhythm there of McConnell, and there he goes up another position. But this battle is just about kicking off again. Well, it's certainly kicking off. Here goes Fitness looking up the inside here at turn 2. Oh no, Clayton Waters lost it and just collected him on the way through. No tears. Everyone facing the correct direction. That's exactly what you want. But let's look up ahead here, because Liam Hanley is closing in on Braden Madman Moore.
Madman Moore in front, but Lethal is trying to take his best place and position off his dad for the race. He's going to say, I'm going to get 6 here or better. What have you got, Dino, in the Tier 1 race? So this is chockies and sheep stations for the will and the rent for the week here for Lethal. Yeah. You can see that purple and black Logitech livery of Braden Moore in front of him. Ever getting so close at 8/10 of a second now. Just got to keep nailing those exits and brake markers for Lethal, and he could be right up there as well. But Maury inside the top 5. He is going to be as stoked as a goat with this position so far. Another great showing here from Braden. Just keeps himself within it and keeps it clean, and he gets results. That is exactly what you have to do as a race driver. But Lethal now just trying to get himself back up. You can see the times now as we enter probably I think it is the 10th or 11th lap now of this racing, and these tyres are starting to die in the rectum. That's for sure. 1/16 is nothing on the race department where you want to be in terms of lap time and pace. So who's going to come in and peel into the pits? Clayton Waters has. He's in there right now. So he's going to come out and go for another shot here, just over halfway, of this race with 30 minutes session, and we're down to 16 and a half. This could be the difference between some guys getting some little places here and there. Maybe the undercut works. Who knows? But Lethal really strong through the middle section now, just full on pacing himself and just taking it calm, cool, and collectively. And you can see the difference there. He's right up there now. It's only 3.5 tenths of a second now between himself and Maury. He's half the gap within a lap, ladies and gentlemen. Lethal Hanley on the charge. What has Braden Moore got in reply? Is it one lap? Is it a couple of laps of different driving lines for poor old Braden? And there's a change for third and fourth because Fullis is into the pits. Glenn Morris is into the pits. Fullis has hit the wall into the pits as well, just overzealous there. There is Glennis. He is going to have to be right on top here because Falzon still lapping at a good rate of knots. The undercut could work here. And look at this. Maury and Hanley. This is going to be for position here. Maury has not defended whatsoever. Now he's going to have to give up the inside position here to Lethal Hanley. Side by side they go. And that is very, very conservative under brakes there for Lethal. Maury's going to cut him off, but they're going to give racing room. Lethal just seen it. And here comes Sam Spencer. He's involved in this one too. So look at that nose chopped off there as well. Really, really incredible racing for the both of them. That is as close as you ever want to get. Bee's dick material, in fact. And Samuel Spencer is trying to claw his way back through the field after himself and Lee Crowther got together for third and fourth place. He's eyeing himself back up onto the podium here, Samuel, and really, really putting the pressure here on Lethal Hanley. This is cracking stuff through the middle section. Christopher Munro, get on the edge of your seat, ladies and gentlemen, and cheer on your favourite.
Yeah, there's plenty to be had here for the entertainment department. It's all starting to heat up here with 14 minutes to go. We've got 3 Mustangs in a row here. No, Braden Moore is the Camaro cork in the bottle, as they say. But I'll tell you what, around this circuit, it is very hard to overtake, and at least to force an overtake anyway, organically. But all three of these guys now peeling into the pits, and maybe a little bit of a center punch, a little bit of a Morse code on the back of Hanley's car there from Spencer. But those guys go through. Here goes Glenn Morris, goes straight up through as well. Banachek opting to stay out on the soft tyre, so he is going long and perhaps looking for a little super soft. Oh no, there is no super soft, is it? They're all on the soft. It's going to be soft to everyone here, but Fullis is out there on the hard tyre, so he has opted to come out on the hard. Maybe just found it a little bit disconcerting towards the end of that last stint on the soft tyre, but he has got damage too. You can see on the front end of the snowy river entry there. It's looking a little bit second-hand. But let's go back here to the action. We got Braden Moore in the purple and black Logitech. He's just been overtaken by Spencer. And can he hold on? We'll find out shortly. But Gaz Postlethwaite now just getting up the inside of Kai McConnell. Who's that there on the outside? That was, I think, a lapped vehicle. Just getting out of the way of these guys coming through a little bit quicker. Here's Fabian Fitness now just sending it. Wowee on Crowther. That was a brave move. Both of those guys very aware of where each other's car was. I tell you what, on another day that could have turned out differently. But Crowther just sending it in deep and just managing to get back onto the racing line. Let's look out the front of Fitness's car. He's weaving left and right, showing the nose each and every direction here. Lee Crowther's got a pretty good handle on that Mustang as well at the front. So he's got to, Fitness is going to have to go back to the drawing board here and try and figure out how he's going to force an overtake. He's certainly, the smoke signal's coming up front. Big send there from the Kiwi up the inside, plus Fitness on the side of the door, Fitness on the back of his shirt. He has done the impossible there and just sent it down into the third sector. What a great overtake there from Fabian Fitness. We were actually discussing before the race why Fabian is even in Super 2 at all, and he just hasn't got the scope of the Gen 3 Supercars just yet. We've seen him time and time again in Wednesday Cup, absolutely killing it out there in the pace department as well. But here goes Crowther, a little bit of a return serve around the outside of turn 2. Fantastic stuff there. Crowther gets the position back. That's top 10. And here goes Fitness now into turn 3. What a beautiful move. Crowther saw him coming and just sidestepped. He said, I don't know about that. I'm not going to try and stick it fat around the outside of this bloke. He's got the hungy fired up and the protein shake in one hand and just making overtakes like they're going out of fashion, Zachariah.
Testosterone injection straight into Fabian's blood at the moment. I'll tell you what, that was some bravery there too. And look at that. You can see McConnell in front just going off onto the circuit. That's going to be a move done and one. Fabian Fitness into P9. Speaking of which, Fullis and Banachek, the undercut did not work for Banachek, or the overcut, sorry. It worked for Fullis, however, but he's on the hard compound tyre at disadvantage as well. So you've got to look out for that battle coming our way for third and fourth position. But Fabian now getting the old curry from Lee Crowther there. He's just had a good old punch up the inside and said, return serve for that one at turn 3, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to piss off down the distance, and it looks like it's working here at the moment. Really, really good stuff as well here. We've got a couple of fans here, but look at this, look at the slipstream here. Oh, no, you've got to go defensive there, Lethal. Oh, geez, look at Fabian just double breaking it up the inside on the slide. He goes around the outside, trailer park girl style, goes Lee Crowther. But they're side by side again, touching doors, banging panels. Lee's got out of that one because he knew it was going to end in disaster there. Fabian just not giving an inch or a mile here at the moment. Really, really forcing the issue here on these soft tyres. He is not pitted either, as Fabian. So these two battling at the moment on soft fences. Oh, look at this at the inside. Oh, you could not believe that. How the hell does that work between them? And it's come to absolute disaster there. Oh, Fabian, for freaking God's sake, man. Just be patient, dude. Oh, my goodness gracious me. You're going to have to redress that one. But he's not. He's skipping off into the distance and said, nah, bugger. Oh, Lee Crowther, you feel for him. He's been taken out at this one, but he took someone else out as well in Samuel Spencer, so maybe karma coming back his way, but not in the fairest of distances for sure. Here comes William Wallace, so really on the back end of Cosmoricus. Cosmoricus, however, just really, really driving well here and clawing back through the field. He's underneath Dax Daniel now. Not the best of friends on the circuit of these two for Cosmo and Dax. He's got it up the inside of the Toyota there, but here comes Braveheart. He's going to set it up the inside. They can't take anyone's freedom here, but you might be able to take Dax Daniels, and he's got that job done here as Wallace. Cosmo's going to have to look out for this one too. Braveheart coming through at a rate of knots, just slicing the heads off anyone in front of him and saying, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'm going to emulate what happened back in 200 BC.
Yeah. Get there, you got to fight for that freedom. Gee whiz. But up at the front here, though, Banachek has found himself behind Flawless here. Only 4/10 the difference, but Banachek not doing himself any favours with the RSN just stepping out there big time. I think in the meantime, we've seen Glenn Morris maybe make a little bit of a mistake as well. That gap was around the 26, 27 second mark. Oh, look at that. He's just put in a 14.1. Best lap of the race, mind you. So he is, wow, where is Falzon? He's made a mistake as well. The gap is only 12 seconds. I don't think Falzon's pitted yet. And Glenn Morris is just sitting in the hot seat here, just waiting for Falzon to make his pit stop. And I think he will just be in the effective lead of the race, unless I've got something wrong here in the old sums. But anyway, we'll get back to the battling while it's happening. Here goes Fullers up the inside. Banachek going to get absolutely hung out to dry here because Spencer's joined in on the party, and he's on a fresh set of rubber as well. So he's going to make this job look easy up the inside. Ooh, maybe not, because Banachek said, no, mate, it's not going to be that easy for you. I'm going to make sure of that, and just sends it back up the inside there at turn 3. Or 4, should I say. Wowee, that's great defensive work there from Banachek, doing his best, and he's yet to pit as well, so he's going to have to come in sooner or later. 8 minutes to go in this race. Ladies and gentlemen, here goes, let's look on board with Sam Spencer, because he is searching for a way around that beautiful livery in the Mustang there, I must say. The old DJR inspired. Here goes Spencer now up the inside on fresh rubber. This should surely be it for Sam Spencer. He gives him plenty of room on the inside, but Banachek wants to argue the point around the outside as well, and he's going to have just a slight overlap here for the final turn. Does it? Oh, we've seen this happen before in a couple of years ago to Di Pasquale and Shane Van Gisbergen, but this time the leading car does not get turned around. Sam Spencer, I'll tell you what, he's got great awareness out there in the racing craft department. He seems to know when he's probably bitten off a bit more than he can chew and just gets out of it. And that's great patience shown there by the green-eyed monster there on the Mustang livery.
Yeah, very good stuff there. Just avoided a certain death, I reckon, for one of them. Don't know who it would have been, but we'll never find out because it didn't happen. So luckily for Sam Spencer, he lives on the fight another day. And poor old Falzon here, I hope he's got the message in the old briefing and reading on the next round that he has to pit, because he is in all sorts of trouble here. 8 seconds now between himself and Glennis Morris. So that is something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Glenn Morris is in effective lead of this race, and Justin Fullis has come out on the hard compound. But look at him. He's keeping these guys at bay like no other. Cracking slide there from Sam Spencer. Didn't get it pulled up. Fullis, however, is really getting hounded and pressured now. You can see Bananarama really going for it here. Can Fullis keep it on there? Oh, no, Bananarama's around. Oh, dead set disaster there for the big man. He has lost that 100% completely, and I think there Samuel Spencer was the culprit in that one. He is holding up and waiting, but Bananarama is still facing 180 degrees through the circuit. Just got it tucked in and clutch kicked, spun around. Oh, geez Louise, Sam Spencer's had it all happening to him tonight. In
Horrible
every
stuff.
single fashion of the department. Christopher Munro, I'll tell you what, it's been disaster him. But William Wallace, however, just sends it up the inside. Australia Post Express style. Gets the job done there. 14th place over Dax Daniel. Easy as you like. Now he's got 1.5 seconds to the man of Tony DeLuca in front of him. Sitting in 13th place. Bill Kosmarikas in 12th. Lee Crowther and Joel Ashak inside the top 10 now. Geez Louise, it's a rate of attrition. What is Falzon going to do? I hope to God he comes in, else he is DQ'd out of this one, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it for the number 35.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through the online results here to see if he's actually made a pit stop, and it says on my timing screen here that he's made 2 pit stops. So that's absolute rubbish.
This is one on mine.
You can't trust anything it says. But I think he may have actually come in for at least 1 pit stop here. That is for sure, because that gap was about 30 seconds to Glenn Morris last time I looked, and that is now down to 8.2 seconds. But I think Falzon has done his pit stop, and you'd think he would have. With 5 minutes to go, I think everyone's done their mandatory pit stop here for now. So Falzon out there in front in a beautiful custom livery. Let's have a look at this thing, because it is beautiful. He's got the Fox Factory insignia down the side, 13. Beautiful colour scheme there, and goes purple in the second sector just to boot. So the new tyre's doing a great job for him. Glenn Morris, though, last time out here in Super 2, we saw him just dominate down there at the bend. I'm sure it was a cracking race for him on debut. So expect to see more of him up the pointy end as this season progresses. But Braden Moore's found himself on the back of Foolis, and this is the battle for the 3rd step of the podium. And I'll tell you what, this could be a bloody fierce battle, because poor old Foolis is dealing with a fair bit of aero damage there on the front end of that Mustang, and Braden Moore's car seems pretty straight by looking at it. It is scratchless at the moment, so he's got all the aero available to him. Foolis goes defensive down there into turn 13.
Foolis just
12.
slapped the wall.
He has.
He just slapped the wall so hard. Sorry to cut you off there,
No,
Chris,
you're right.
That's what I was reacting at. Sounded like I had a gay orgasm. But anyway, nonetheless, he slapped the wall there very, very hard. And Braden Moore nearly got the job done on him. But on the hard compound tyres is Justin really showing these boys that it can be done on that hard compound. I know he's like 22 odd seconds, 28 actually, in fact, between himself and Glennis Morris. But he's holding these guys up, and look at the back of Samuel, trying to get on the inside here of Liam Hanley. Lethal's just got to go defensive, and he does get that power down nicely on exit to not get the overcut work, but he has just done that. Samuel right on the charge again. This guy could have had about 4 or 5 top 3s at the moment, and he's right on the cusp of it once again. He's copped it everywhere. He's copped it sweet tonight, and he's showing the boys how it's done. Doesn't matter where you sit on the grid. What can Braden Moore do at the moment? Because he is right behind the cork in the bottle of Foolis, and at the stage, if one error from Foolis and Braden Moore does not get the chockies done over him, it's going to be see you later for these two. 2 positions lost from Lethal and Samuel coming at a rate of knots here. Soft compound tyres, under 3 minutes to go in this one. It is heating up for the top step on that the 3rd step on that podium. And look at Moore around the outside. He's trying the trailer park girl M&M style. Can't get the job done, but Lethal's seen that coming. So is Samuel at the back there too. And now Samuel's got the overlap on Lethal. Lethal's gone. So now it's going to be defensive mode for Liam Hanley. Can he get it pulled up here and take the inside position there for Maury? Maury's seen him coming. Who's getting on the power best at the exit of the final turn? Oh, it's a drag race here now. Looks like Moore's got the job done. And oh my goodness gracious me, if you've got a 3-way car battle, you're going for it here. Justin Foolis has got a breath of fresh air here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 and a bit minutes to go. Couple of laps left in this one. And here goes Samuel Spencer. What has he got up to Braden Moore? Moore's gone wide. Sam's got up the inside and taken that P4 off him at the moment. Moore is out of this one. Now it's on the charge here for Samuel to get himself on that top step of the podium. This is cracking stuff. Here comes Lethal Hadley. Oh! Got the job done. Beautiful stuff there for Lethal. Moore has lost it big time. Gone from 4th to 6th within 2.5 corners. Big moves coming our way here for the final session here at the end of this Tier 2 race. Cracking stuff.
Yeah, beautiful stuff
Safety
there
car
from
has
these
been
guys.
called.
Oh, wow. Safety car in the closing stages of this race. This could just end under safety car, I believe. We've got 1 minute and 36 to go. Let's find the leader here and just see. He's just going to go balls to the wall until he gets to the end. There is no overtaking once the safety car has been called, so these guys are foolish. Has lucked out here, to be honest. He could just putt around, and if I was him, I'd be going a little bit slowly. There's Kelly. Just parked it on the inside there, trying to get the car off the wall. But yeah, Foolish can just he can just take the pressure off himself here and just putt around until he catches up to Morris and Falzon in front. But it looks like these two guys are still battling as if there is no safety car call. So we're going to assume that maybe that was a false. Oh no, they've come together. There goes Sam Spencer just spearing off into the fence. Sam Fencer, we're going to call him now, because that was well and truly right into that outside fence. The Mustang is fucked. There's Liam Hanley is going to try and take advantage of that as well. Are we 100% sure there was a safety car caller? Because I think they've called it off. Okay, the safety car call cancelled. Oh, that's a tongue twister at the best of times. Falzon is out in front by 10 seconds. Glenn Morris sitting in second position. Foolis is in third, and he's got these guys battling for sheep stations down there for fourth and fifth. We're going to see where Sam Spencer is. He's going to probably be wearing a fair bit of damage until the end of this race. 5 seconds to go. Where's the leader? He's crossed the line. So this is the last lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. Can Spencer take Fowler? Can Fowler's hold off the fast-finishing Sam Spencer?
Jeez, this is incredible stuff. We've got to see what happens here, because he's on a soft compound tyre, and it probably is about 10 laps old here at the moment. But that hard tyre is as linear as possible here. If you want to underneath her, Sam's gone full attack mode. So is Justin Fullis into defensive. So it's gone a complete opposite. Lethal Hanley's up in this as well. 5th place for Liam at the moment is going to be good. But that's just the man of the moment. Led every single lap of this race, has Falzon, and he's going to take the line right now, cross it, and say thank you very much, Mother, for the rabbits. That is P1 for Matthias Falzon. Done, one, and easy as you like. 8 seconds over. Glenn Morris is going to cross the line too, but this one's not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final lap of the race, and I'll tell you what, Samuel knows that's happening. Fullis on the full defensive mode here. Liam Hanley right in the back of this one too.
Oh.
Fullis has gone for the side swipe on the back end of the bumper bar. Couldn't get the job done. He's only got 2 more corners to make a move here. I don't think he's close enough at the moment, but Fullis on the slide there too. The checkered flag is out. He's gone full defensive as Fullis. Look at this on the slide too. This is incredible stuff. Samuel's going to go up the inside. No, he's not. He's going to try it around the outside. Can't get that job done. Is he going to do a late lunge on the brakes? Fullis has gone full defensive here. I don't think he's going to get it at the moment here. Samuel Spencer's going to have to settle the fourth, but Fullis is around the outside, and it's a drag race to the finish here. Lethal's gone out of this one. It is going to be Justin Fullis taking P3. The final step of the podium, split by 1/10 of a second there over poor old Samuel Spencer. Cracking result from him at the end. Liam Hanley in 5th. Braden Moore in 6th. The top 4, 5, 6 all split by half a second. And that is how you go racing at the end. Banachek's crossed the line in 7th. Fabian in 8th. Joel Ashak is going to be in 9th place, unless Lee Crowther has something to say about that. No, Joel Ashak's going to take 9th place. Lee in 10th there by half a second. And Cosmo just missed out on the top 10 there in 11th place. Christopher Munro, what a race.
That was a good comeback from Bill. We saw him in the fence multiple times at the start of this race. So yes, he's done a great job there in the back end just to claw back some good points. Jimmy Park will cross the line in 12th position with his mate Tony DeLuca. We saw them having an intense battle as well in the opening stanza of that one. Kai McConnell in the white livery. Mustang looking very second-hand indeed. Goes 14th. Just gets out of the way, but then around he goes. Hayden Wallace in 15th. The Dax Daniel in the lonely Toyota in 16th, sorry. Clayton Waters in 17th. Kelly down there, we saw him parked in the fence for some time as well. Rick Zack in 19th. Richard King, King Ding-a-ling, if you get that reference. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Jojo Higgins in 21st. And Gary Postlethwaite was the lone DNF. Disaster there for him. But he'll be back next week. Indeed, he's got some pace on his day. So the man of the moment, here he is. Matthias Falzon, the Flying Falcon, the Maltese Falcon, putting out the smoke there. It looks delicious on this 10-year-old game as well. I tell you what, they've just kept this thing ticking along Assetto Corsa. I tell you what a cracking visual display there, and what a cracking racing display from Falzon as well. It was he dominated that race.
He did. He absolutely dominated it, and it was led from go to woe for him. So, really, really nice job. Missed his pit stop. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we all got confused here in the commentary box.
Yeah.
But he has made one, so he is genuine first place. Glennis Morris in second, and cracking racing from Foolish, just holding up everyone on that hard compound tyre, showing that the linearity of that hard is just a bit more predictable in the dying stages for those soft compound runners. Don't go through there, Falzon. Oh my goodness, you're going to fall through the map. There he is. He just on the petering edge of Knot. You can see that car hanging off into the distance, into oblivion there, but he's pulled it up at the last minute. Great stuff. The cameraman is on the piss, and there he goes. Tumble turns, triple pike, double somersault, and he is gone. Just like he was in the race. Ladies and gentlemen, cracking stuff. A big thank you there as well in the race too. We got a donation there from the big man himself, James. Go Banana Rama. He said the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. And cracking stuff from everyone. Lethal Hanley has been absolutely congratulated by his big mumsy in Kirsty. Great racing, Liam Hanley. Well done. Exactly that. Top 5 for him. One position away from taking the chockies over his old man. But anyway, we'll see what the old man could do in the next one. Apologies about the confusion over the safety car there too, ladies and gentlemen. I heard it in my ear, and the race directors just gave me the old Tijuana and said, nah, stuff that. We're going racing, boys. And that was a big positive, because that last lap battle between third, fourth and fifth was on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it certainly was. Replying to the comments here as well, Fabian Fitness says, how's the van in lap 1? I don't know how that happened. I don't know if it was mine or yours, Zach, but I do my usual little technique of checking that I've gone back to the pits, and it said I had, but I don't know if it was me or you. It must have been me, because that's how I got kicked out of the server. So, sorry about that, Super 2. It's always an experiment in new things. I've just upgraded to the new CSP, so that must be a feature. Not a bug. They call it a feature, ladies and gentlemen, in this one. But
we bring it all.
Yeah, exactly. At least we know now. Before we get into the main grid, the new UI is not very good either. It only shows the people that are still in the server. So I'll be fucking that CSP version off. Back to 2 steady old 2.9. You had to kick me. It wasn't me, Taylor, I'm pretty sure, but oh, goodness me. We're going to have words with the race directors, ladies and gentlemen. They're kicking the broadcast car out. That is crazy stuff. Anyway, let's get ready for the main grid. They're out there doing their practice at the moment. So, Zachary, let's introduce the new, the next tier of racing.
Tier 1, ladies and gentlemen, the main game. 3 races coming your way. They've got qualifying first, though. So they've got 11 minutes of quali, and I'll tell you what, the race directors are pissing themselves in the commentary box listening to the stream here at the moment. Just caught up at Munro's absolute demolition of the stewards team there, and I'll tell you what, don't worry about that next one, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong for the qualifying session. 3 races. We've got a qualifying session of 11 minutes, then a race 1, 11-lap sprint, then a 20-lap second race there. Finishing places are determining the grid from race 1 for race 2, and then a reverse top 15 for the big dance, a 53-lapper here at Townsville for the big ones. And Tier 1, you know what to do. Go and get yourself prepped in. Get everyone ready, strapped in and around the idiot box for tonight. Laptop, computer, whatever you've got, TV and SimSational TV, in so to speak. We'll be back here for all that action in just a few moments.
We're back, ladies and gents. Sorry about the hot mic situation. We're just switching between VoIPs, but as we say in the biz, it's all G, even if no one says that in the biz at all. But here we are, ladies and gents. We are ready for qualifying here in the main grid. Who is that on the pole position? It looks like Lachlan Grant. It is. All right, so the Nick Mello has been beaten to the punch, and in a big way. I can't see him. He's probably about 4 cars back. So Grant may be updating the old SSD drive. and he's on the fast gear. We've got 56 seconds till we get a green light here for qualifying in the main grid. Zach O'Reilly, what are we expecting to see here out of these boys?
I'll tell you what, there is one name, and that is in 8th place on the timing tower at the moment, S. Cordham. Man of the moment. He was the quickest man in practice tonight. The owner, one of the co-owners actually of AK Racing, on the track tonight. So everyone better be nice to him. I'll give you the hot tip. But he is the guy to beat tonight. I tell you what there, Alex McEwen's got his work cut out for him. So has Nick Mallow. So it's going to be interesting to see here. We've got 21 seconds before we get going for qualifying. But look out for Mr. S. Cordham, number 45 on the Chevrolet. But Lachlan Grant's going to get the prime position here, as we can see on board from him now, where he can go. And is he going to get overtaken by anyone behind him as they come up to T2 effectively? Turn 1, I'm just going to call it Turn 1 every night because Turn 1 is a joke. It's a friggin' left hand, just quickly bait sort of left-hander, flat to the floor stuff. So Turn 1 is where Lachlan Grant's about to head now, and he's got a very, very nice run indeed. So don't worry about him. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see a transit van on the grid, it will not be me because I'm in a Camaro, and it will be 1C Munro once again on the front row. But we've sorted that out. You've probably heard it all in the stream there in between sessions. And I got caught out looking like an absolute royal toss bag. I cannot wait to be watching the SimSational TV subscribers just go from 1,000 down to 850 after that nonsense. But bit of behind-the-scenes stuff there. And speaking of, right now, Lachlan Grant will be thinking about nothing behind the scenes. He's looking forward and on the circuit as he does his first little outlap here for qualifying. Only 10 minutes and a bit left in this one. So these guys have got to get on the dance, Christopher Munro, start doing the tango, and maybe just hook up number 4 in the dance department for the night and get their partners in for a bit of hip swaying. Yeah, a little bit of a horizontal moonwalking, perhaps. Horizontal dancing. Yeah, absolutely. But that only comes if you get in the top 3 here in the main grid. And I'll tell you what, I've heard it firsthand because Andrew Ferguson lives not far from me, and once he got a podium once, and I had to put the old earplugs on in the middle of the night. But let's rock on board with Lachlan Grant. That is absolute rubbish there from the commentary box. But let's ride on board here with Grant. And Zach O'Reilly's going to take you on a lap of Townsville Street Circuit. Effective Turn 1, get it into first gear, then power out there. But he's up to for second gear as Lachlan Grant. Just get on the dance before that corner starts to curve its way around to the left. Heavy braking zone, second gear here now for Lachlan Grant. You can see what's going on. Fabian's just super chatted us. Yeah, bang. Legend. Absolutely legend. I love you, mate. But Lachlan Grant's continuing on here. Brakes at the end of the concrete barrier into the left-hander, then a right-hand chicane. Opt to take that curb or not. Lachlan Grant shows the Alto, and that's going to be a cut lap there because outside that yellow line is a real penalty cut. So he's out for this one. But he's gone off and completely lost it too. So he's sent it through there, full on Express Post Australia style. Over the tram tracks we go, nonetheless, still calling it. And a heavy braking zone, more opportunistic passing moves here for the Tier 1 guys. They'll be braver than the Tier 2s. But if you don't get this one right, I'll tell you what, you're in trouble. Lachlan Grant on the slide, full oversteer, ready to go. Third gear now, full oversteer once again, but these tyres will come up to temperature within lap 3, I guarantee you, for another crack. So Lachlan Grant knows that this banker lap here for his opening one is absolutely nothing. He'll go for another one here. It won't be qualified there. He does a nothing lap time up there at the moment. And who's going to take the chockies for the first one of the night? It is Matt Cotter with a 1:14.2. A second off where Mr. fucking Scotty Cordham goes for it. Alex McEwen's gone bang into top P1 at the moment provisionally. 8 minutes left in this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is all on for Donkey Kong here style. What can Matt Cotter do? His teammate is very quick tonight, so we've got to see what the AK Racing teammates can do. Yeah, you can see that Scott Cordham's popped himself up on the second row of the grid provisionally. It's only the first time around for these guys as well, but as you can see on the track map there, it's pretty busy, but there's a couple of little gaps starting to show up as well, so the smarter drivers might just start to take advantage of that. But up the front, it is tight as you would want it. Alex McEwen with a 1:14.1. And Matt Cotter, the man on your screen at the moment, only 400ths behind in the timing stakes. So we'll see what he can do around this circuit. Scott Cordham, in the meantime, has gone purple in the first sector, has gone a personal best in the second sector. So he's on for a pretty tidy lap indeed. 4/10 quicker on his last time around. Let's see if that is going to put him up to the front row. Scott Garrick, in the meantime, in the Toyota, has gone quicker. Here goes Cotter to the top with a 1:13.6.
6. Thank you very much. And times are coming in thick and fast. Nick Mello goes up there as well with a 1:14.1. Where is Scott Cordham? Is he about to cross the line here? He must have had an absolute shocker there in the last couple of turns, because he's given back a couple of tenths as well. Only gets up to 6, but Andrew Ferguson, the man I was talking about just before, who lives down the road from me, up there in the top 5. We kind of hope he doesn't want to get. He's a mate of mine, Zach O'Reilly. So I'd like to see him do well, but also I want to get some sleep. So it's hard to balance the two of those things. When he does well, the party continues on down at the Ferguson household and keeps the whole suburb awake. But at the moment, look at this battle between Cotter and McEwen. 700s between those two guys, and then daylight to third in Nick Mello. It looks like he's hit the wall as well. Look at that. That's a big damage on the front of that car. So you might just see him coming into the pits now and getting those repairs done. And yes, he listens to the super coach. Well done there, Nick Mello. But that's put him behind the 8 ball in the grand scheme of things here in the and he hits the wall on the way in as well, just to add insult to injury. Here he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Cotter improves to a 1:13.5.
13.5, nearly at lap record territory here, ladies and gentlemen. 3 tenths off it at the moment, done by his teammate in Scotty Cordham, who's gone with a 13.9 now. So he's got himself sorted and now within that rhythm. So lap 3 is where it's at, ladies and gents. Lap 3 and 4 is where the times will start to tumble. Brandon Pearce into the 14.3s there. Is now Benny Aspin, 14.5. There goes Nathan Hughes into 13s as well. 13.9 for him. Geez, he's on fire tonight, Nathan Hughes. Hopefully he can recuperate any damage that he has done for the last couple of rounds. He's been up there and then got taken out or been taken out at one stage for him. So only within 4 tenths of a second here around Townsville is tight, ladies and gentlemen. But Matt Cotter leads it with a 1:13.5. A bit of inside information about Matt Cotter too, ladies and gentlemen. Only started practicing 3 days ago here at Townsville. So the old thing about ignorance is bliss is definitely coming to fruition here for Matt Cotter. But his teammates only 3 tenths off him as well. So we've got to see what's happening. But Nathan Hughesy setting green sectors for the first one as well, and the second too. He's still there. I tell you what, the owner of AK Racing himself is setting purple sectors alight in the first one. This is where he's got to get it all collected together. He just can't go for it, but he is definitely on for pole with 4 tenths of a second up at this stage. And he's lost a 1/10.5 there on the exit. Actually, in fact, it's going to be 3 tenths. So a 13.59 is going to be within a bee's dick. It is at 13.567. Only 400ths of a second away from Matt Cotter, his teammate. This is going to be on. The Fluoro boys are out in front here. McEwen's into the pits going for one more dash here at the end of it. So is Cordham. He's going to go right in now, teleport straight to pits and get back on for another one. Benny Aspin's into the top 10. Dean Hanley's in 7th place. Nick Mallow in 6th as well. So Mallow versus McEwen battle is about 3.5 tenths between themselves. But this is one of the Fergos, and this is the junior in Snoozy as well. I'll tell you what, Chris, I was going to say before, ladies and gentlemen, Chris gets woken up by the sound of fireworks clapping. But I tell you what, if it's the old podium, the old cheeks are clapping as well there, if you know what I'm talking about. And that is one Andrew Ferguson podium position too. So if he gets up there as well, he'll be in there, and hopefully Jack Ferguson doesn't as well, because he'll be hearing the clapping of the cheeks all night in the Fergo household, and he won't want it. No. He will not want it. I'll tell you what. It's before 8:30 here, but we don't give a rat's toss bag. It is Gen 3 Supercars here at Townsville. 3 minutes and 15 left in this one, Christopher Munro. It's all heading up. What has Nick Mello got?
Yeah, well, it's interesting to see Nick Mello so far down the order. He's usually the first man out on track as well, getting the first crack around the circuit with clear air in front of him, but he just seems to be a little bit out of sorts. As you can see, a bit of smoke coming out of the tyres there into the final turn. He's got one of the AK Racing cars in front of him as well, and I think that's probably a pretty good way to go about it. Get a bit of a suck down the main straight. Who is that? That's let's find out. It's Scott Cordham, ladies and gentlemen. That's who you want to be in front of, or behind, should I say. It's not. It's Matt Cotter. There we go. So Nick Mello's getting a nice little suck off Matt Cotter. That's smart move there from Nick Mello. One of the smartest drivers. And I'll tell you what, Project 4 are absolutely killing it in the team standings as well at the moment. We'll bring those up in between races for the viewers at home. Let's look at Dean Hanley at the moment. He has just gone bang up there, second row, and flying at the moment. The young protege of our commentator Zach O'Reilly, in the Zach O'Reilly School of Going Fast. Dean Hanley is currently top student.
Yeah, definitely. And he's really, really putting the burners on at the moment. And so is Lethal Hanley too. He got 5th in the last one, so we've got to look out for him. He's pulled over to the side to let a quicker car through. That is etiquette at itself, at its best, nearly. Only 3.5 tenths, but he's been pipped now for 3rd place over by Nick Mallow, who's really come to life now. We're late in this session. He's got his grips. He's got his rhythm in as Nick Mallow. Our last time around. Oh, no, just as I say that, he's punted it into the wall, and that's his qualifying done, won and dusted. Yep. I'll tell you what, he's not going to get around in time here. Oh, unless he does, actually. He's got a minute 18. If he gets on the ball, he might get around within a second. Maybe. If he's got not enough damage there, it could be okay. We'll see what the steering wheel actually looks like there, Christopher Munro, if we can go on the race directors. Oh, it's looking pretty straight there. Actually, straighter than you, Christopher Munro, I'll tell you that one. But look at this one. Ready to rock and roll is Nick Mallow. He'll probably just get around within 2 seconds, I reckon, to get another lap in. But it is still the story. Cotter versus Cordham. And if these guys do a 1-2 here, it's on like Donkey Kong for the 11-lap sprint coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever they finish in that one is going to form the grid for race 2. Harley Marshall is set green in the second sector here. He's up for a PB at the moment. What is this going to put him in the grand scheme of things? The timing tower giving us absolutely nothing to go off. He's going to do a 14 and a half, I think there is. Yes, 14.5. So that put him into 9th place for the sprint at the moment. Provisionally 30 seconds to go in this one. We are getting to the spicy end of this one. Dean Hanley's put in the pits. He's thought, nah, bugger it. I'll settle for 4th there. Hughesy not too far behind him as well. Benny Asplin, 2 tenths off Cotter here. If he can keep this momentum going, this is going to be a ripper of a lap here for him himself. He's a second off the top row at the moment. And with 6 tenths of a second now, he's just getting it off. Liam Hanley's gone bang with the super chat as well. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Lethal, also. But I'll tell you what, these boyos are on. What can Benny Asplin do here? He's half a second down on his own personal best, so it's not going to be any improvement here at the moment. A 14.8 versus his 14.5. We've seen Jesse Marshall go in. Checkered flag wait for him. Lachlan Grandson, a checkered flag. Marshall and Marshall, 2 inside the top 10, 9th and 10th respectively there. Now, Scotty Garrick's got out of this one. Benny Asplin here, he's not going to improve. He's just got a really good last sector there as well. But speaking of which, has Cotter got any improvement? No, 3 tenths down at the moment. What has Scotty Cordham got behind him as well? Oh, Scotty Cordham's up here. This is going to be close, ladies and gentlemen. This could be it for the last lap dash here for Mr. Scotty. Can he get the last sector nailed? No, he's gone wide there. He's missed it, completely missed it by a country mile. Says Christopher Munro. He's not going to get the chockies over his teammate there. He had it. Ready to go, but up second place for him is going to settle. What has Nick Mallow got in the chockies for him at the moment? It says green there. I'm not too sure what's going on.
Just
he's
on the
way
edge.
off.
Yep.
Just on the edge for Nick Mallow. He's not going to get any improvement there. That's your top 3, 4 sorted. Nathan Hughes, however, is he on any song? No, he's just drifting it around the circuit, so he's done as well. Fergo settled for 6. Has Brandon Pierce got anything to counterfoot? Nope, nothing at all. The Magician's come through and put himself in 7th place. Really, he was underplaying himself too, ladies and gentlemen, for this round. I reckon he's going to be in for a good one. Captain Kirk in the other rang-out Sim Black's car pulling into the pits, and that looks like it's done. Pierce from 7th. Matt Cotter is your pole position. Get up. Cordham, Nick Mallow, Hanley, Hughes, Ferguson, Pierce, Grant, Marshall, Benny Asplin, and the Doc Elliott round out your top 10, Christopher.
Yeah, great showing from the boys out there. It was less than a second.
And McFadden.
Yeah, down to 10th position. There was about a second between them. Jason McFadden has snuck into the top 10. This new GUI that I have applied is absolutely dog shit. So I guess we're gonna we're gonna go back. I did go back to 2.9, but I'm gonna have to do some settings readjustment in the meantime. But
and mute me.
What we do know for sure is that Zach is now muted for the people playing at home, so he can go and do his F&Ps out there by himself. It's still coming through my headphones, so I'm being entertained for sure. But here's your man of the moment, Matt Cotter. He's sitting second in the championship standings. Let's see if this works. We're going to bring up the stand. No, it's not going to work. Okay. We will work on that in the meantime. Actually, I'm going to do that now. We're going to bring up the main grid. The main grid. There we go. He's unmuted now. Zach O'Reilly. We're going to bring up the main grid standings and just have a quick peek at what we got here. Alex McEwen is the man out in front with 2,363 points. Matt Cotter, your man on your screen or just previously, is only, 64 points behind. So very much in the hot seat here. Nick Mello, the other driver for Project 4, a little bit behind those guys with Brandon Pierce. We've got Harley Marshall, Andre Elliott, Jack Ferguson up there in the top 7. He'd be absolutely flying with that. Dean Hanley as well. Jesse Marshall. Great showing from Jesse up there in the top 10 so far. And Scott Cordham round out his top 10.
That's what you get for being consistent, ladies and gentlemen. Will Kirk in 11th. Brian's cousin in 12th. He's only got about 10,000 hair follicles left now. He's been degraded each time as McFadden. He's got to get inside the top 10 to earn those places and hair follicles. Brandon Schmell and Steve Warwick into the main grid, and you can see them highlighted there in 13th, 14th. Lachlan Grant, Andrew Ferguson, 15th and 16th. Scotty Garrick and Dion Clerk, 17th, 18th, with Clint Goff and Alan Nielsen in 20th place there. But let's talk about Andrew Ferguson versus Jack Ferguson. Andrew is the elder statesman of the two, but he has been away for work. So let's give him an excuse for being lesser in the points other than his his young son, sorry. But as we look over the beautiful Townsville circuit, you can see the crocodiles way over there in the distance, ladies and gentlemen. They're starting to come to the track. You can see everyone else, and I reckon if these guys don't get their security guards out, there will be wheels and steering wheels stolen off these V8 supercars in between session, if you know what I'm talking about, up here in the pointy end of northern Australia, so to speak. But as we get ready for race 1, 11-lap sprint coming your way, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Get those condiments refilled. Get yourself excited. Get yourself ready, in fact. And just, if you're a male out there, just relieve yourself in the Royal Dalton. If you're a female
I'll be doing that.
I'll tell you what, Christopher Munro's doing that at the moment. But if you are a female out there, in Kirsty Hanley, go and give Dino a good slap on the old third leg. Tell him to perform for this one because it's going to set up his whole night. But don't worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back here at SimSational TV at Townsville Circuit for 11-lap sprint and then 2 more after that in just a hot second.
Every now and then. Maybe more so than you would like. But here we are. We are ready for a start now. And look at that. Front row lockout from the AK Racing cars. The official garage for the AK Racing series. That's Scott Cordham and Matt Cotter. Locking out the front row for the first time, Zach O'Reilly. They're going to be feeling pretty good.
They are going to be absolutely feeling as top dogs right now. The old King Cocks, as we like to call them, AK Racing 1 and 2. Right there on the grid, Alex McEwen and Nick Mello off the second row, the two teammates. So it's AK Racing versus Project 4 in there. Then you got Dean Hanley, Nathan Hughes off third row, respectively. Andrew Ferguson, Brandon Pierce off the fourth. Harley Marshall and Lachlan Grant round out your top 10. Jesse Marshall in 11th with Benny Asplin next to him. Scotty Garrick and Ryan Nielsen share the 6th or 7th row. I can't remember which one, but Dr. Elliott in there as well with Jack Ferguson next to him, Dion Clerk and Will Kirk next to each other. Two different spelling last names, sound pronounced exactly the same. The chef, well and truly undercooked in 21st place. Ezra Simmons next to him as well. Steve Warwick rounds out your grid there with 23 cars on the track. This is the sprint to remember, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this one. And it is only an 11 laps. Everyone is on the soft compound tyre, respectively. They should know exactly what to do there, Christopher. And now it's going to be up to who is the hero or who is the zero at turn 2 coming in for this race.
You'll see the guys with the smarter racing IQs just surviving this first lap. And that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot finish the race. You can't finish first if you fail to finish. I think that's the. Oh my God! That's the
if you want to finish first you must finish.
Yeah, I said it better. Look, I did the Munro spin on it, and I think it turned out better. What do you think, chat? Get involved in this race. This is race 1 here of the main grid. These guys take no prisoners. That is for sure in the racing department. We've got, 1 minute, 13 seconds to go before we see how aggressive these guys feel like getting. 2 teams occupy the front 2 rows as well. We got AK Racing up the front, and behind them, Project 4 of Alex McEwen and Nick Mello. Both there, poised to strike, and it's quite a long It's quite a long run down to the first braking zone as well. So maybe a little bit of suck might be aiding those two guys behind.
Yeah, definitely. And Liam Hanley's just coming and gone, if you ain't first, you're last.
That's what
and
I
that
should have
is
said.
exactly what it's going to. That's what that Munro's brain did come to that conclusion, but it just did not come out the old vocal cords.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's what happens when you are sponsored by the Bortley Wine Company, loving us with the red and the whites tonight. I'll give you the hot tip. But nonetheless, the old cordial's well and truly on here, ladies and gentlemen. 20 seconds to go. It's all up to Christopher Munro to call this opening lap. 11 laps is going to be over before we think about it, Chris. Let's get going. The rights are up, ladies and gentlemen. AK Racing off the front row. Let's go.
Get involved, ladies and gentlemen. Get your predictions in the chat as well. Which one of these teammates is going to take the other one out, or we're going to see something different? Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to wait until the race has started before I get back to the thing. Here we go. We're off and racing, and it looks like Matt Cotter's got a pretty good start, but Scott Cordham on his outside is going to hang it fat here. Here goes Alex McEwen. He's got the great run. He's up the inside, and Matt Cotter goes very defensive. Scott Cordham might even just sweep around the outside and take the lead. He does. Nick Mello tries to follow him through, and a little bit of door banging there with Matt Cotter. This is going to be intense going up to turn 3 now. Matt Cotter just on the inside there, just sends it up the inside of Nick Mello, and a little bit more contact, and Alex McEwen is poised on his teammate, but I don't think he's going to let him through. It is holding stations now, but Dean Hanley, let's ride on board with him because he can see the mass of cars just in front of him now. Oh, he's almost lost it, almost put it in the fence, and there goes Hughes and Ferguson through. Pierce is going to try and have a look up the inside, and there's a little bit of contact as well, but Dean Hanley shuts the gate like he's trying to keep the kids out of the pool. But look at this, Harley Marshall's now on the back of Brandon Pierce in the brand new livery there as well. He's going to try and look around the outside. Pierce goes defensive down into this hard braking zone, and they're going to go side by side, door to door. Little bit of door banging perhaps, but behind him there is Lockie Grant on the inside. Jesse Marshall getting involved. Benny Asplin just overshooting the turn there. Oh, that was Nielsen, should I say. But that is one lap. Nielsen's got to put it on the black stuff. That's where the best traction is, son. But now Benny Asplin has the advantage there. He's actually going to look through and maybe take Jesse Marshall here. He's got a little bit of the suck going down into turn 1 of the braking zone. He's just going to send it. This is dangerous stuff. Jesse Marshall very almost aware of it. But there goes turn 1. Scott Cordham is in the front of this race. Matt Cotter only 7/10 behind Nick Mello and Alex McEwen, the pairing of Project 4 in behind those guys, and a little bit of daylight to Andrew Ferguson now sitting in 5th position. He's getting hounded by Nathan Hughes, Zach O'Reilly, so it's all starting to heat up here at the front.
Yeah, sorry I fell asleep in the commentary box here. Thought I was going to go 11 laps without a call, but nonetheless...
turn it up.
Love it, just a bit of bouncer
I've
in
got
the commentary
got the stopwatch
position.
on you now, champ.
He's got the stopwatch on me, I'll tell you what, fam, now. But nonetheless, Nathan Hughes, he's 100% up there. He's really handing the back here of Andrew Ferguson now. Cracking stuff from these two. Tino Hanley, the biggest loser out of that one, started off 4th and now in 7th place. He's got very, very hot property behind him too. But Hughesy really using that late apex and trying to get it out on the black stuff there. Can't get the job done, so Fergo's going to skip away to the distance. Lachlan Grant's had to come into the pits now and take his drive-through for jumping the start. Oh, disaster for him. He was on for a good performance tonight. So is Scotty Garrick. He's fallen down the grid at a rate of knots there too.
Oh,
and he's
gone.
DNF'd out of this one. He's done for the evening very, very quickly. Ryan Nielsen and Benny Asplin have changed positions too. So that is a on like Donkey Kong start. But here is Nathan Hughes versus Fergo. The battle is off and on at the corner knot.
Whoa.
You can see there Fergo just dancing it off that bump. And I'll tell you what, Hughes is going to be right up there. He knows he's only got 8 laps to do something here to take P5 off Andrew Ferguson, get the fireworks and the cheek claps out of the way there for the Fergo household. But it looks like Hughesy in that Castrol Mustang is looking very, very racy here. 2 different lines through that corner as well. And you can see that Hughesy has got the rear traction. He's just planted the throttle. And you can see the throttle trace in there. Still not full throttle. Now we are. And you can see that Fergo's gone defensive. So here comes Hughesy.
Oh,
can he try a trailer park girl? And he's gone around the outside. Look at that. That is close there. But Hughesy has not got the chockies there over Fergo. I thought he'd locked it up. Christopher Munro thought he did too. But nonetheless, Fergo really, really strong on the brakes. No smoke signals here. No rear locking, no front locking indeed. Hughesy's got the tighter line, but the exit is where it is for Fergo. Just slow in, fast out. Is working here for Andrew Ferguson here at the moment. You can see them doing 15.3s here, 15.4 or thereabouts. And they're driving the tits off these cars at the moment. It's still not over at the front. Scotty Cordham is really driving. Oh, Hughesy's hit the wall. And he nearly clapped the arse end of Fergo, who was going to be doing something that to Mrs. Fergo tonight if he gets a podium. But he can't get the job done here. I'll tell you what, 6th place versus 5th. They're driving the tits off these Mustangs at the moment. It's a bit of a battle handling at the moment here between Pierce, Marshall, and Hanley. These guys are all, Dean Hanley, Marshall, and Brandon Pierce, really going for it. But Hughesy at the pointy end of these soft tyre compounds. This is lap 3 now. This is where they're at their peak, ladies and gentlemen. They start to fall off from here. If you can't get it right, you're never going to get past them. And if you're as close as poor old Nathan Hughes is at the moment in the rear wing, you are dead set going to be using up those tyres quicker than anyone else in front of you. So Fergo in the advantageous position here for that. And I think my time is up, Christopher Munro. You can have a crack.
Yeah, there we go. We've had that for 2 laps there, Zach O'Reilly, but I'm not going to say anything about that. But look at this. The battle's on up the front here. Matt Cotter and Nick Mello, the 2 aggressive drivers on the grid. So get into your bloody seats there, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to see some fireworks indeed. Let's ride on board with Mello. Oh, look at that. Matt Cotter says, no, you're not going up the inside. I'm going to drive in my rearview mirror, which is crazy to think that he's doing that out there with, 6 laps to go already. Geez, the first 5 laps have flown by when you're sitting there just waiting for a turn on the commentary channel. But I love a bit of banter here in the commentary box there. But Nick Mello now, I'll tell you what, Matt Cotter is just maybe doing Scott Cordham a big favour here by holding him up, because it looks like Mello has the pace at the moment in this early phase, and now he's just got almost had a little bit of an overlap. And you see that in the real world when they do race at this circuit. That's a pretty good overtaking opportunity. Oh, no. But Nick Mello's just stuffed it up completely. And now I think he's just going to have to let Alex McEwen through, because there's a fair bit of damage now on the left-hand side of that Chevrolet Camaro. Look at him just squirrely into that turn. Look at that front end of that thing. It is second-hand indeed. But we've seen in the past Alex McEwen, one of the more patient drivers out there. He's just going to wait for his turn. And look at that. There's not much he can do about it now. You can't get on the radio and say, "Look out, Nick Mello, your car's stuffed. I want to turn at it." It's just a battle for positions here up the front. But Scott Cordham's loving life at the moment. He's going straight through. But back here, the battle's on, Zach O'Reilly.
Dino Hanley was under all sorts of pressure. He went in there hot and he got the job done, but he overcooked it on exit, and now Harley Marshall's got the job done over him. Now he's under real pressure here too. Look at these two, Pearso and Hanley, having a good old tussle between each other. Single file slot in though, so that's okay. They're both ready to race each other at the moment, and if these boys in front of them in Fergo, Hughesy and McEwen start holding each other up, this is going to be a 5 or 6 way suck battle. You can see Jesse Marshall in the background up behind there of Brandon Pierce too, wanted to chime in on this one. Dino Hanley needs to get his chockies on here and start getting the erection pills into his bloodstream, because Kurtz is going to slap him on the cock here if he keeps losing some positions. And Pierce's got on the inside, but Dino's gone even harder. Oh, jeez, he's touched Harley Marshall. They're both trying to punt each other around. Pearso's got checked up in that as well. And here comes the rest of them too. You can see Dino Hanley suffering there as well. Pearso's involved. He's going to send it up the inside of Dino. Can't get the job done. Wide around the outside. But Dino's on the inside. Harley Marshall's got the gift of a lifetime here, being gapped himself by 5 or 6 tenths now. Dino's on the inside here, and Dino Hanley. Pearso's drag racing him, side drafting him down the front straight. Into turn 1 we go. A little right-hand kink, sorry. Second-hand plumbing coming. Oh, Pearso switched back on the inside. Dino has not learned a thing off me, and absolutely dead set, given up a position there. Shit our stuff, Dino. Pearso into 8th place, though, however. That is cracking driving there from Brandon Pierce. Hughesy versus, oh my goodness, Andrew Ferguson. This has come alive here too. Side by side coming into turn 5 we go. Oh, cracking stuff there from Nathan Hughes. He's got the chockies over Fergo. Now he just had to put it on the apex and pin it. He's sideways there. He's absolutely dead set, Nathan Hughes. Cracking driving here from both. Fergo thinks about on the outside. Hughes has just got to get his gallops together and just start thinking about the exit here. He's got that job done. Beautiful stuff there from Hughesy into 5th place over Andrew Ferguson. 5 laps to go in this one, and geez Louise, I'll tell you what, the lung abilities, capacity, there you go, is starting to get a little bit hairy here in the commentary box here, and I'm out of breath.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's champagne racing from the top tier of drivers here in the Australian V8 Supercars Championship here at 8K Racing. There is never a dull moment. And up the front, we can see that Scott Cordham and Matt Cotter, they are teammates, but Matt Cotter's maybe just eaten a few tenths out of his lead. Three laps to go now as they pass the card table here in the SimSational commentary box. So 8 tenths the difference there up in front. Scott Cordham chasing his first win in 8K Racing in probably 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready, hold on to your hats, because the commentary box is absolutely going to come rumbling down if he can take this win here in race 1 here at Townsville. But there is another inter-team battle happening here, and that's Alex McEwen has taken the third place position off his teammate Nick Mello, who is just battling with a fair bit of damage. Look at that thing at the front there. That rear front bar is just hanging on by an absolute thread. He's seen the fence just a few times, but we'll get there, because Ryan Nielsen now on the back of Dean Hanley. We've seen Hanley up there at the pointy end. He's hit the wall. He's come back a few spots indeed. And look at the... you can almost see how he's got that car set up, Zach O'Reilly. He's got that rear very, very soft indeed, and the front very, very stiff indeed. So a fair bit of understeer, I think, in the Ryan Nielsen car there. You can see it just sort of sitting up. It's like one of those old AU Falcons you see, where the blokes they cut the rear springs and just sit it down on the back. But Dean Hanley, just a few smoke signals coming out the back there. It's like Willie Nelson's tour van. There's plenty of smoke to be had around this circuit at the moment. Oh, wowee. It's all heating up in the midfield as well, Zach.
Dino Hanley, I'll tell you what, sending more smoke signals than Bob Marley at the moment. But they're all having a good crack here. It's just a bit of focus now. We're in that 3 laps to go period. And once you get those tyres warmed up, ladies and gentlemen, you start to get into that little bit of a rhythm. And all Dino Hanley has to do on screen is just keep it clean. Dion Clerk's had an absolute mare. He was way up the grid at the start, and now he's way down the grid, fighting over the minor positions here over Steve Warwick in front of him. So poor old Dion in the third of the Toyotas actually, but Steve Warwick's doing really well.
It's his first time
it's his first time here in the main grid, so he's been promoted, and I'll tell you what, he's doing a cracking job here, mixing it up with the big boys. And he's doing a very, very good job indeed. Nielsen, though, speaking of understeer, Christopher Munro, I reckon he has got the stiffer springs in the front at the moment, because going a softer spring rate in the front here at Townsville is key. With a little bit of reverse rake and soft front springs, you will get that turn in that he needs, and his front splitter is looking like he's hit a couple of walls there at the moment, but still in 10th place. It's going to set him up, because this is where, ladies and gentlemen, you can see Dino Hanley in front now pressuring the back of Brandon Pierce. Wherever these guys finish in this one is where they're going to set themselves up for race 2, a 20-lapper coming your way. So this is, keep it in mind and keep it in the back of your brains like an elephant here. This is where the grid is going to be. And I think Dino Hanley here is just looking for a bit of chockies to get himself back into 8th place. Poor on Pierce, just right on the slide. Oh no, so is Dino. Oh, he's lost 10th place and 11th. Oh, he's just skidded up against the wall. Somehow managed to gather it up there. All pressure going on. Here goes Benny Aspel around the outside. Trailer Park Girl got the job done. Oh, Dino just rear locking, pulled too much rearward bias on that one. Here goes Jason McFadden. He can see a top 10 in front of him. He's boarding at the moment, is Jason, because he gets his follicles taken off him and promoted. Nearly sent up the inside. Benny Aspel nearly took out Jesse Marshall there too. Now it's a 7 or 8 car battle behind these cars. Wow, look at this. McFadden on the slide. There goes Doc Elliott. Forgot about him. McFadden up the inside. They don't care if they're teammates. They're having a good old crack, the two Kiwis, having a good old tussle there, and you can see in the background as well, McFadden versus Fergo. McFadden having a good old crack there. Dino Hanley's going backwards at a rate of knots in 12th place, but this is where the battling is now, ladies and gentlemen. The sprint never fails to disappoint, and you can see them tussling here for the final lap of the race.
Yeah, 1 lap to go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh! There goes Elliott, just very deep, and his mate from New Zealand says, "Thank you very much, sir," or "chur chur" in their old language there.
Ba ba.
Ba ba, chur chur, he goes. That's I love a bit of casual racism here in the SimSational TV box. But look at that, Andre. No, who is that? Where is he? Hanley, right up behind Benny Asplin here as well in the Brody Kostecki Coca-Cola livery as they go through the final chicane, the little chicane for the final time. Where's Scott Cordham? He's about to round the final turn, so we're going to give him some love. It's the first time he's hit P1 here in about 4 years in AK Racing. Crack out the chockies. Hey, what a race there from Scotty Cordham. And I'll tell you what, from Sydney I can hear the celebrations, the fireworks going off. Mrs. Cordham's in a big lot of trouble tonight. Don't you worry about that. Matt Cotter comes across the line in second position. Alex McEwen gets the better of his teammate as well in Nick Mello. But two teams very dominant there with AK Racing and Project 4 pretty much locking out the top four. Nathan Hughes, the best of the battlers there in fifth. With Andrew Ferguson in sixth, he sets himself up for a nice little start in the next race. Harley Marshall making up a few positions as well for MBR. He'll be happy with that. Brandon Pierce, the magician, up there in 8th position with Ryan Nielsen and Jesse Marshall rounding out your top 10. Pretty strong showing there from MBR as well. I'll have to say, old Ron in the chat will be loving that.
Yeah, Ronald, I haven't heard from him tonight, actually. Get in the chat, Ron. But nonetheless, 10th and 7th place. Beautiful showing from those two in the Marshall Brothers Racing household. And Benny Asplin takes 11th place. Dino Hanley disappointed from 4th all the way down to 12th. He will be spewing about that one. But he's got redemption time. 2 more to go. So he'll be fine. Jason McFadden in 13th place. Good showing from him. Andre Elliott, his teammate, right behind him as well in 14th. Jack Ferguson, Snoozy, in fact, in 15th place, just showing us how to do it, drift style. If there was a competition, he'd probably be in P1 at the moment. Will Kirk, the captain, not showing his leadership tonight in 16th place at the moment. 2 more to go, though, so don't worry about that. Nielsen, 17th. Down Clerk in 18th in the first of the Toyotas. Steve Warwick, for his first showing, gets 19th place, showing it how to do it in the big boys. Grant, however, unfortunate for him. Really, really disappointing. That jump start cost him big time. 20th place. The chef, about as raw as someone's member. I'll tell you that much at the moment. Ezra Simons comes through in 22nd. And Scotty Garrick, again, disappointing 23rd place. But, wow, 11 laps. It gives you no time to take a breath, ladies and gentlemen. Scotty Garrick's had enough already. He's taken a breath too. Mr. Cordham, the owner of AK Racing, just showing what the King Kong can do. And if he keeps his momentum up for tonight, he's going to take all 3, I reckon. That's my prediction. Let's see what happens here, though, Christopher Munro, as the podium lines up there for race 1. 2 more to go, Chris. Anything can happen. Anything
can happen. I'll tell you what, I'd love to see a Scott Cordham clean sweep tonight. That would be the order of the night. I'll tell you what, it's been a long time coming as well. He used to be one of the speedy boys back in the day. But I guess he's done the practice now, and the AK Racing boys may be sharing a bit of setup advice and a little bit of practice between them. And there you go, 1 and 2. They locked out the front row in qualifying, and they consolidated that in race 1. And it's good to see. There might be some conspiracy theorists out there saying, "Oh, look out! The owner of the racing league takes out the victory." But I tell you what, we've seen the results in the past. Maybe he's just found. Maybe Zach O'Reilly, my commentator, has forwarded him that grip.exe file that he's been sitting on for so long. But,
well, let's say the origin of that grip.exe was from one C Munro in the commentary box. So it's been good to have it for the last couple of seasons. But it's time to just pass the handle over, Christopher Munro, to some of the bigger compatriots. Yep. And the man who has put all the time and investment into keeping this AK Racing League running is that man on screen, Scotty Cordham, number 1. Definitely there, not number 45, I guarantee you. He's got number 1 for tonight, and that is a cracking result for him. He'll be very happy, and hopefully he hasn't let go of the testosterone too early, because he's got 2 more to go, and those eyes are a dead set concentration. He's blinking more than a coke addict on a Saturday night. I'll tell you what.
That's insane.
If we could see the jawline going, I reckon it's going from side to side at this point in time for Scotty Cordham. Look at that. Absolutely dead still. No sort of drug annotation there, or D-rugs as they like to call it. But we'll be back here. No drugs in the commentary box, that's for sure. Way. Race 2 is going to be a rip snorter. 20 laps coming your way. The grid is sorted for race 2. That is where they finished. And it's going to be an absolute barnstorm. I'll look out for some strategies. Who's going to pit? Who's not going to pit? There is no mandatory pit for race 2. Ooh. And we'll see what these boyos can consume. for that. So you know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself strapped in again. Go to the bathroom, refill your own drinks, empty the bowels, and we'll be back here at SimSational TV in a couple of Royal Daltons.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What a cracking race there in race 1. 11 laps. It's always a fun time with the super sprints as these drivers get a little bit desperate out there for glory. I'll tell you what, you can't take it away from Scott Cordham. He led from go to woe. It's the first time in a long time as well, as you heard from the commentary on the way in. I'll tell you what, it's good to see the King Cordham up there on top of the world here at Townsville Street Circuit. He's got his teammate there on his outside now for race 2. This is a 20-lap shootout with a mandatory pit stop, so we're going to see a little bit of strategy. We're going to see a little bit of gamesmanship as well, perhaps a few little dummies on the way in to and out of the pits. But behind Matt Cotter, we got Alex McEwen and Nick Mello for Project 4 Racing. Those guys are looking like they're... Oh, no. I was about to say they're going on opposite strategies, but it looks like the top 4 are now all starting off the soft compound with Nathan Hughes and Andrew Ferguson perhaps opting to start on the hards. Interesting call. I know if it was me, I'd be starting off the soft compound tyre. So if anyone's listening out there starting on the hards, I'd probably rethink your decision. Around a street circuit like this, you need all the traction you can get, especially off the starting few laps, because you can just find yourself in a train of cars trying to overtake someone on a set of softs where they probably should have been on them in the start, Zacharoli.
Human centipede style there, Christopher Munro.
Exactly.
But I would, if I was anyone, I would try what they did. With 20 laps at a minute 15, that ends up being about 25, 26 laps. And we saw what a pit stop does. It gets you way out in front. So I would opt to do a pit stop strategy and just go a soft and a soft. Because at the end of those 8 or 9, 10 laps, you are dead set in trouble on those soft compound tyres. They start to get as dancy, as I said earlier, Pamela Anderson's bumhole, and you could be in trouble by the time it comes. If someone's coming into the pits, they're going to come through at a rate or not. So a little bit of something to think about. But in the viewership land, we need your predictions in. We need them because no one gave a prediction for that apart from, two teammates taking each other out, which is pretty bad if you ask me. So we're going to give some opportunity for you to redeem yourself there, Christopher Munro, and go for another one.
Okay. Scott Cordham in great form. I just want to get behind him here at the moment. Let's go for 2 for 2. Scott Cordham. And I'm going to say McEwen and Ferguson third.
Done. All right. I'm going to go for Cotter first.
Ooh.
Ferguson second. Mallow third and Cotter fourth.
All right, we're hedging our bets here in the SimSational commentary box. It's up to you now, chat, to get involved, and you might just find yourself getting a SimSational TV prize pack if you can jag that trifecta. In saying that, we've never actually sent out a prize pack, but you've got to be in it to win it. One day we'll have one, and you might just find yourself a little email away from a SimSational T-shirt and or G-string. You never know. But we're about to go racing again tonight here at Townsville, and we are now getting right into it. And Matt Cotter's got a cracking start there. He will lead now in the second phase. Look at that acceleration. He's just got to get across now, and it looks like, just pokes the inside down. Scott Cordham might even argue the point up the inside here. These guys are racing hell for leather. But look at McEwen now around the outside. He's got his teammates sorted out, and they will just slot into single file. But look at the rest of the field now. There's plenty of battles up and down the field. It is Brandon Pierce now looking up the inside of Hughes. He gets that job done. But even further back, we've got Nielsen and Jesse Marshall just touching a little bit of contact as well. But they have to go single file. There's just no other way around it, around this circuit. Down further back, we've got Will Kirk just chasing Benny Asplin through that little fast chicane. But look at the cars. They're just looking magnificent here. Oh, Will Kirk getting right out sideways, manages to keep the car in one piece and, doesn't lose a position somehow. Jason McFadden behind. We're looking forward there, and just didn't make that move stick. There's someone looking up the inside. That looks like Andre Elliott in the white and black car there. The Rangiart car. He's got Dean Hanley in front of him. But they're going to go around one more time. It looks like Will Kirk, Jason McFadden, Steve Warwick making a move on Junior Ferguson, who's just dropped back a fair bit through the field there. But Matt Cotter leads through turn 1, through lap 1, and by quite a margin to Scott Cordham.
Yeah, definitely. You can see McEwen now handing the back here of the race 1 winner at this stage. So hard compound versus soft compound too. You can see P1 and 2 is Cotter and Cordham both on the soft. McEwen and Mallow on the hard. Then you can see Marshall on the soft, and then you've got another hard there runner of Ferguson. This on the soft, Hughes on the hard. Fucking Jesus Christ. Jesse Marshall on the soft, Nielsen on the hard, and then you've got Dean Hanley also on the soft tyre. So everyone else is sort of going for that alternate strategy. There's no mandatory pit in this one, but I think there are a lot of people hedging their bets that the hard compound tyre is the better one to go for 20-odd laps time for this one. So it'll be interesting to see who is going to succumb to the pressures of that soft tyre. Or the hard guy is going to be coming through at a rate of knots here and just make sure that they stick it where the sun does shine up the inside of a lot of people. But you can see Ryan Nielsen here having a good old tussle over Jesse Marshall in front, hard versus soft compound. It is now coming up to lap 2. So these soft compound runners now will start to gallop away over the rest of them. You can see Benny Asplen now on that hard compound tyre, battling there. Captain Kirk in front of him has gone wide there. Nearly got punted up the inside as well from Jason McFadden did, Benny Asplen, but they all survived that one just at the rate of knots that they were approaching. It's incredible. Here goes Steve Warwick again. Debutant in the Tier 1, and he is right up there, 16th place. He's handing the back of McFadden. Can he just stick up the inside? No, he holds back a little bit there and just sits it nice and comfortably there, waits for anyone to do a little bit of an error there, and he can make sure he can get the best run out of T2. He goes and up the arse end of McFadden, but he's got to be really careful because here comes Junior Ferguson. Junior Ferguson is right up there. Number 17 on the grid at the moment, just going for the shallow exit there, the better run out of that corner. Can he get the job done? He can't at the moment. Just single file through this section here at the moment. Can either race directors have a good old tussle because Hughes has gone down the list. He's off the grid there. You can see there. Dino Hanley has gone up into 9th place. Jesse Marshall in front of him. And another car. There goes Captain Kirk. No, there is Captain Kirk indeed. He has lost it into the infield. He's going to go the wrong way back onto the circuit. He's going to have to wait a country mile here because there goes Alan Nielsen right past him. And he is dead set last on the grid. Disaster for him, but he's on the hard tyre. So maybe if there are some pit stops, he can get some guaranteed positions there. But Dino Hanley right now on the soft compound tower, winding that car right in. Get some rear wheel bias out of that car and put it on the front there, Dino. But he's got poor old Jesse Marshall in front of him, actually. 0.3 of a second on the soft compound tyre. So does Brandon Pierce. So look out for these three here. Pierce, Marshall and Hanley start to get all over the back of Andrew Ferguson a little bit up the road, about good old 2.7 seconds ahead of these lot. Dino needs to get his job on. Look at that up the front there, though. We've got Pierce, I reckon, versus Ferguson, and Pierce is up the inside. Got the job done. Beautiful stuff there from Brandon Pierce on Fergo. Hard versus soft compound coming to fruition now. Pierce really got that apex speed nailed, and that is all she wrote here. 6th place now for Brandon Pierce, Christopher Munro. What are we going to see from the Magician?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's just going to make hay while the sun shines now on those fresh set of super softs. While Ferguson will probably just try and stick into the suck and make as much time up as he can because he's got a fair bit of a gap behind him as well to Jesse Marshall. That's 1.7 seconds on the timing tower. So I'll tell you what, I think the way this opening couple of laps has panned out, the guys that are up the front on the hard tyres are really in the hot seat. Like Alex McEwen, Nick Mello, both on the hard tyre, and only 0.6 slower than the guys on the softs. But Andrew Ferguson as well doing a great job. I've missed something there. Hayden Cook just getting into a battle there with Scotty Garrick in the lonely Toyota. Apart from Ezra Simons, should I say? There's not. Tell you what, for a new car that's come to the grid, the Toyota looks great. Let's have a closer look at it. Looks brilliant. Not many people driving it though, Zach O'Reilly.
No, that's all right. They'll be fine. They'll warm up to it once it starts winning races. But look at Steve Warwick now, mixing it inside the top 15 now with the main boys. Benny Asplen right in front of him too. So this is a cracking little drive here from Steve, doing his own justice inside the Tier 1, showing that he can mix it with the big boys. And that is beautiful stuff there, if I might say, for him in 15th place. McFadden and Hughes has come off again.
Whoa.
Oh, Hughes is DNF'd it. He's in the pits. He's done.
He's gone.
Gonski is Nathan Hughes, so everyone behind him has been promoted up one spot, and you can see there that was Dino Hanley now just trying to find his way around Jesse Marshall. They're both going hammer and tong, but Dino Hanley's on the inside here of Marshall, so it's H versus H at the moment. Into T1, T13 we go, and he's got the job done there, is Dino. Can he get the power down? He's just going to get it done. He had a little bit of a wag there. He's going to have to stick to the inside like I taught him. Fucking get left, for Christ's sake there, Dino. But Marshall's on the outside. It's all covered at the moment. Stick on the inside of the track, inside this line. Beautiful in that middle double liner and defend your position beautifully. Cook it on the entrance. Oh, he's just managed to pull it up in the last second, but Dino Hanley has galloped that position. Beautiful stuff there. Zach O'Reilly's School of Coaching coming to fruition there. And Dino into P8. Marshall is going to have to settle for 9th here, but nonetheless, it's all on the Donkey Kong because there is Andrew Ferguson, 1.5 seconds up the road from Dino Hanley on that soft compound, and a good 3 seconds nearly away from Brandon Pierce on the soft. So these soft compound tyres are starting to come into their own here. Who is going to make the most of it? Is it going to be Brandon Pierce? Is it going to be Dean Hanley? Is it going to be the two guys out in front in Cotter and Cordham, teammates respectively? Cotter was on a fly. He did a 13.6 on lap 3, Christopher Munro. That is up near qualifying territory as well with a bit of fuel on board. He is flying, but Scotty Cordham not getting the chockies over him at the moment.
Yeah, you can see just in 6 laps that Matt Cotter's put a almost 4 second gap to his teammate, who pretty much had his measure in that last race. So maybe a few nerves or something there from Scott Cordham. His best lap is, 6/10 off his teammate here at the moment. So all I can say is maybe it's just Scott Cordham not feeling as comfortable as he did in that first race. But we've got, 13 laps to go. It's a medium sprint here in race 2. 11 laps was certainly in the super sprint category. 20 laps, it's a medium race. We've got a pit stop as well, I believe. A mandatory pit stop, and is it a mandatory compound change? No, we can.
There's none of the sort. No mandatory pit or compound change there.
Oh, right. Okay, so we can just go as far as the fuel tank can let us, and perhaps whatever hard or whatever tyres they started on. So I would imagine that these guys that started on the hard tyre, Alex McEwen, Nick Mello, are looking for a no-stop strategy here, and I think Ferguson's probably in that camp as well. He figured out that the fuel is going to last you at least 20 laps, so this is going to be very, very interesting indeed. We got these guys on the soft compound up the front that they are going to feel the burn probably 11, 12 laps into this race. It's going to be so interesting, Zach O'Reilly, when these guys that start on the hard are going to start to, the car's going to come to them over time, and the soft tyre's just going to absolutely die in the old proverbial as it goes through. But here's Pierce and Mello getting stuck in, Zach.
Yeah, definitely. But I'll tell you what, bit of inside information here too. If you just don't do what Pearso's doing at the moment and drive your own race, you can stick within that 1:14 lap time on a soft compound tyre after 20 laps if you know how to drive the car.
Yeah, right.
And these guys on the hard compound tyre are doing 1:15, 1:16s. Oh, Pearso nearly lost it. Nearly flipped up onto 2 wheels there and rolled it into the outfield, but he just got it sorted at the main point of knot, so to speak. The vinegar stroke at the moment for him would have been an absolute, I reckon the old, what do you call it, the anus. Stroke would have been coming right out there for him. But nonetheless, Steve Warwick in 13th place on those soft compound tyres has noted in himself that he can go the distance. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think anyone here is going to stop here, Christopher Munro. That is my tip for the night. And Dion just sent it up the inside very, very hard. Gets it pulled up, in fact, and the Toyota gets into 13th place. Lachlan Grant's coming through the field from his absolute disastrous start there for race 1, ploughing his way from dead set last on the grid up into 14th now in 9 laps time. Beautiful stuff here from Lachlan Grant. He's going to have to be side drafted here down the front straightaway as well as we go, but he's got the chockies there over Warwick, and he's going to be able to defend that position if he can. Go to the inside, kick left, but look at Fergo now. Him and versus Dean Hanley, it's on because the hard compound tyre of Fergo is starting to come to fruition, and Hanley's just gone around the outside and said, thank you very much, I'll take that place. Now on the charge goes Dino Hanley, and look out, Jesse Marshall's next on Ferguson's target list, that's for sure, in the defending department. This could be interesting. Fergo struggling, doing 16.5 as his last lap. And if we look at the guy behind him in Jesse Marshall to see what his lap time is as well, for that you will find that I reckon it's still in the 115s at least on that soft compound tyre. Yeah, right, 15.1. So a good second and a bit there difference between the hard and the soft compound tyre. Yeah. 10 laps into this one. This is incredible stuff.
Yeah, interesting. I would have thought the soft tyre would have fallen off a little bit sooner than this, but I guess the low stress of the low speed circuit where it's all just kind of stop-start really doesn't put that lateral stress on the tyres, and I guess they just last a little bit longer. So I guess the guys here that have done their homework have really just hit a home run in terms of tyre choice. But look at this. Harley Marshall just goes bang, and he's going to sail it around the outside of Alex McEwen almost, but McEwen's going to fight this. Oh, wow, that's close. Ladies and gentlemen, Harley Marshall goes up into third position, and there's really not much Alex can do about it on that harder compound tyre. And we're now, I guess, I'm starting to think now in the commentary box that this might have been the way to go off the soft and just push it as far as you can. There's 10 laps to go. We're going to see these guys struggling eventually, but I think just the outweighing of the pace differential here at the moment is just the landing in the laps of these guys that started on the softs.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see Brandon Pierce now on the back of Mallow there too on the soft compound versus the hard. Project 4 have gone the wrong way in this one for sure at this stage. It is only half race distance, but we'll see what happens because Pierce are well and truly closing in at a rate of knots here over the advantageous of the pace department generally and Nick Mallow. But look at that apex speed there from Brandon Pierce. Just has to nail the exit and he gets the job done, but he can't on that one. One more time for him. There's Dino Hanley in the background on the soft. It was 3.2 seconds for Dino versus Pierce. Now it's a good look at that. A 14.2 for Dino Hanley versus a 15.4 for Brandon Pierce. So Dean Hanley on the charge and Pierce is in the wall. Oh. He's just managed to gather it up somehow on the infield. That is the absolute save of the night there. But he's going to cop it on the damage department because that front splitter is now on the right-hand side of the car. Very, very limited now for the downforce department there for Brandon Pierce. Dino probably won't know about that one, but he can see the delta just absolutely half there from 2.5 seconds now to 1.5 seconds for Dino. He's on the charge here at the moment. What has Nick Mallow got to do in that department? But look at this, Jesse Marshall versus Fergo, soft versus hard. Fergo just sliding everywhere. He's as slippery as a bloody penguin on the Antarctic shelf at the moment in those hard compound tyres. Cannot get the car gripped up at the moment. Jesse Marshall knows it's coming to his place, but I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, these soft tyres will now start to enter that medium grip stage. So if you keep going behind someone and just fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, you're going to wear your tyres out. It's better not battling and locking up those front tyres because as soon as you start doing that on a soft, you start to get that 50-cent piece effect. A little bit of vibration through the front and the damage just starts brewing and brewing because 90% of this circuit is a left-hand turn, which means your inside left-hand tyre is going to be as dead as a doornail if you keep locking it up. But Harley Marshall is just looking forward and going forward in this race at this stage. 9th place for him. Fergo on the prowl.
Yeah, it's where you want to be. I think these guys on the hard compound, you can see Alex McEwen, Nick Mallow, they've dropped about 6 or 7 seconds to the leader here at the moment. Actually, about 10 or 11, should I say. Poor old Scott Cordham's there, 5 seconds behind his teammate. That's Matt Cotter there on screen. He's still doing 14.8, right? That's his last lap was a 14.8. Scott Cordham, his last lap was a 15, so 2 tenths behind. And Harley Marshall about the same as well, 2 tenths off.
What's the Harleys?
Let's just tune in here because there's a battle really starting to heat up here between Pierce and Hanley.
Well, it's already over.
Oh, it is. Has Hanley got in front? That's what it is. But here we go. Nick Mallow still doing 15 flats just about. You can see him just miss the apex there in the final turn. And Alex McEwen's on 15.3 as well. So I think we're at the crossover point there between the softs and the hards. Everyone's kind of doing about the same lap time. So you'll see that that sort of crossover point start to exaggerate. The guys on the softs will start to go slower, and the guys on the hards will probably maintain that pace. So the question is, in 7 laps, can Alex McEwen, who is the first man out there on the hard tyre, make inroads on the guys in front? He's got a 1.5 second gap to Harley Marshall. He's got what's that mean? An 7-second gap to Scott Cordham, and then another 4 seconds onto that, so about 11 seconds out in front to Matt Cotter. It's a tall order, even for a man of Alex McEwen's pedigree.
Yeah, definitely. But you can see the gap now be ever decreasing because Nick Mellow's in a bit of trouble here. This is round 2. It happened at the bend last time as well between Hanley and Mellow, and it's coming to fruition here. That hard compound tyre not working. Excuse me. For Nick Mellow at the moment. So Dino's coming in at a rate of knots. It was 2 seconds. Now it's 0.6 of a second now. We're in lap 14, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see the difference here. Those soft compound tyres, as Chris said before, really coming to their own here because there is not a lot of fast turns here at the moment to wear those soft tyres out. They're really, really just half wearing at this stage, and the hard compound tyre is not the optimal place. Alex McEwen should definitely be up there with Cordham, and you can see there now, Dino Hanley, just look at the closing speed there. Doesn't matter about the smoke signals. He's right up there now, only 0.4 of a second, halved it in a one braking zone there, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the difference, just an absolute rate of knots here. Mallow is under all sorts of pressure here at the point of knot. He's doing 15 forces this last one. Dino Hanley would have been doing 14 fives, I reckon. Yeah, he was too. In fact, there you go. And you can see him closing and closing and closing. The sliding of that car there. And he's going for the move. He's going to show the nose. He's just going to pressure point him, school of Zach O'Reilly, and get on the inside. And you can see Mellow's overcooked the corner.
Here we go.
Now Dean Hanley's up the inside. There is not enough overlap here at the moment. Or is there just? Yes, there is now for that defensive run for Dean Hanley. Out of the question now. He's pulled it up. Is he going to? He's overcooked it into the second last turn. Oh, Dino, you piss poor man. Oh, my goodness. He had it there, but he had it ready to go. He's got another 5 laps to make it up, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about that. But that is the closing rate of knots here between the hard and the soft compound tyre. It doesn't matter who you are at the moment. I reckon here at the moment, Kirsty will be coming into the in the old sim racing room, shouting at this man on screen at the moment and saying, you're not going to get any leg rollovers tonight. I give you the hot tip if you keep putting that shit on.
I'll tell you what, he's come a long way in the last couple of months there under the wise guidings of our co-commentator Zach O'Reilly. He's in the he's paying for the expertise, and it's certainly starting to show. But that last little exchange, I think he learnt a lot more from as well. Just it's all about patience, trying to bide your time and pick the right time to make that overtake stick. And I think he will have the pace still. As you can see, that gap's just starting to dip under a second once again. But as V8 Super Geek says, that was such a good potential pass. Yeah, it surely was. He did the hard work to set that up, but he's up against a formidable opponent in Nick Mellow, who's been around the block many a time. He knows how to defend, and he knows how to attack. He knows how to drive a V8 supercar as well, that's for sure. So Dean Hanley's got his hand full as well. He's got the pace. You can see he's cut that gap down to just almost a second now. And look at that, the top 6 all pretty much doing identical lap times as well, past the post that time. So we got 4 laps to go. Matt Cotter looking pretty good out in front, Zach.
Yeah, he is. He's looking fantastic. And Captain Kirk, unfortunately, coming to fruition there in this one in 19th place. The captain in another galaxy tonight, not the one on the racetrack. Unfortunately for him, 19th place. He's usually up there within the top 10 to 15. So a little bit out of place for him, but he'll be right. He'll get back for the big one. We've got a 53 lapper coming your way. Scotty Garrick as well. What could have been for him at the bend? He was right up there too, in 13th place, clawing his way back through the field from dead set last, and it's taken him 16 laps to get up into 13th. But geez, this is a good drive from him. He's on the soft compound tyre, and McFadden and Elliott in front of him, even Nielsen too, a fair way away, are all on that hard compound. So Scotty at the moment should just not overcook those tyres and keep it there. But look at Lachlan Grant behind him, really putting the pressure on him now. So it's not in front now that Scotty Garrick has to look. He has to look backwards. You can see the counter steer into the final chicane. We go over the trams tracks. We go now. A little bit of a bumpy, and Lachlan Grant really putting the pressure point on now at this stage. Look at this. Let's trot, says Scotty Garrick. But I tell you what, he's going to have to trot harder because here comes Lachlan Grant up the inside and takes him at the last final furlong for now. But Scotty Garrick and him are bumping doors and absolutely grinding those plates off each other's car. Lachlan Grant won't think anything about that. That was good hard racing from the both of them. No one came out worse or better off. But Nick Mellow has got done by Dino Hanley at the point of knot. There's 17 laps out of 20 done. And Dino's got his second back and got into P5 at the moment. There he's got 2.2 seconds to get in front of Nick Mallow. I tell you what, Nick Mallow will be on the blower at the moment to poor old Alex McEwen in front of him saying, Dino's coming at a rate of knots, champ. Look out for him. We've got 3 laps left in this one, and I reckon this could be a song for P4 at the moment. But look at this battle. Garrick versus Grant versus Ferguson. Oh, no, that was a massive punt there. And Garrick's into the fence. And there goes Snoozy up the inside. Lachlan Grant, the full-on guilty culprit of that one, caught in 2K res. And unfortunately for Garrick, he's been pipped of 13th place by Jack Ferguson, who just held back and saw that coming. But look at McEwen now over Harley Marshall. You can see Marshall's tyres are about to start dying off in the arse at this stage. And McEwen right on his clacker, full oversteer, the both of them there on this lap, and this is going to invite Dean Hanley and Nick Mallow back into this party. If they keep battling here, Harley Marshall is not the best passer in the grid, but he's the best defender. I'll tell you what, when it comes to this, he knows where to put the car. Can he keep it and pull it up into turn 2? He can, but just because Nick Mallow's going to think, Alex McEwen, sorry, is going to think about it. Not too far up the inside he goes. Just final, single file, line of stern sort of style here now, and now Harley's just got to keep his wits about him. Don't worry about that car behind him. He can't get past you in this sector here at the moment. Just stick to your racing line there, Harley. Nick Mallow is going to be all over this one on the radio because Dean Hanley's coming at a rate of knots between these two, because Alex McEwen right now has got to get past MBR in front of him, one Harley Marshall. And this is insane stuff. Look at the delta now of Dino Hanley. He's coming at a rate of knots here now. You can see these two battling. This could be P3 on here for Dino Hanley. And boy, oh boy, are we on for a final couple of laps here, Christopher Munro.
Oh, look at this. We got Harley Marshall going defensive. Here goes Alex McEwen just missing the inside. Dean Hanley's going to pounce all over it. A little bit of door rubbing as well into the final turn. Alex has the advantage of being on the inside run and just keeps Dean Hanley at bay around the outside. And that gives Harley Marshall a breath of fresh air, and albeit about 6/10, and that's all you need here with 1 or 2 laps to go. But look at this, we're going to get the chopper eye view here in the SimSational chopper. Dean Hanley closing fast around the outside, has the better of the braking performance and just says thank you very much, and just takes Alex McEwen like he's standing still there into turn 1. That's fantastic driving there from Dean Hanley, and there's really nothing that Alex McEwen can do. He's closing fast, I'll tell you what. And poor old Harley Marshall saw all that in his rearview mirror and goes, oh shit, that's going to be me next lap if I don't get a bloody hurry on here. Hanley has listened to all the advice given there on the Zach O'Reilly train of fast driving schooling. And look at this, look at the traction he's got here. I'll tell you what, Harley Marshall's a sitting duck here at the moment. He's only got 1 lap to hold on to, 1 and a bit laps to hold on to, but I feel like he's just absolutely done for here. Dean Hanley, oh no, as I say that, he's just overcooked himself and given that position back to Alex McEwen. Nick Mellow's going to try and take advantage around the outside as well, and I'll tell you what, he doesn't need a second invitation in this kind of battle. There's 1 lap to go. There's 4 cars in a row here, all battling for the 3rd place on the podium. Matt Cotter's got this race pretty much sewed up, and Scott Cottam in the 2nd position. Zach O'Reilly can call us to the end. Here goes Dean Hanley looking up the inside.
He's locked it up, but he's managed to hold it on for now. But here goes Dino Hanley around the outside. There, Harley Marshall involved in this one. Cotter's going to take this one by a country mile, though. That battling is still going on. Mallow versus Hanley. He's lost the position there as Dino, too. Just got a bit overdone there on the exit. And you can see poor old Dino's lost 2 positions in the last final sector of that one. McEwen's held on for 4th. Harley Marshall is fighting for dear life here for 3rd place. And these guys are going hammer and tong here. It is Project 4 versus 1 MBR. McEwen on the slide there. Oh, no! He's lost it! And he goes on the inside. And there goes Dean Hanley, promoted into 5th place. McEwen's lost that place. What has Dino got for Mello, though? Nothing. He's too far away here. Oh, this is dead set. Get out of jail free for bloody Harley Marshall. But this man, not in jail at all. His passcode collected $200 every single lap. And Cotter on the slide. He's taken it by a country mile, drifts it over the line, gets P1. Beautiful stuff there from Matt Cotter. Scotty caught him in 2nd place. OK Racing 1-2. Harley Marshall in 3rd. Dino Hanley versus Mallow. It's going to have to be a settled position there for 4th place for Nick Mallow over Dean Hanley. 0.2 of a second between those two. McEwen has to settle for 6th after crossing it up early into that apex and that chicane. Dead set will be disappointed for that one. Oh, geez, Jack Ferguson. Oh, Alex Ferguson, sorry.
Alex
Hey, Alex.
Ferguson.
I did a Christopher Munro
Yes.
there. He's rubbed off on me finally.
Yeah.
He's celebrating in the back. Brandon Pearce in 8th place. Nielsen in 9th. And Jesse Marshall in the soft compound tyre gets 10th place. And a fair distance back, 2 and a bit seconds between himself, Doc Elliott, and Brian's cousin for 12th.
Yeah, what a finish. Holy moly. The grandstands are erupt here at Townsville. Jack Ferguson crossing the line in 13th position. Scotty Garrick making up a few positions at the end there for 14th. Lachlan Grant in 15th. He's up against it tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that Mobil 1 Camaro. And Steve Warwick doing the Super 2, what would you call it? Starting, I don't know where I'm going with that, but he's been promoted, ladies and gentlemen. He's done a great job down there in 16th position. Alan Nielsen in 17th. The captain, Kirk, phoning home in 18th position. Dion Clerk in 19th. We've seen him have better results than that. He's probably maybe a little bit undercooked in the practice department as well as Benny Asplin. We've seen him do better in his time as well. Ezra Simons in that book as well as Hayden Cook. So I tell you what, it's a topsy-turvy field tonight, and these boys are, as you can see, or as you've seen, it's just absolutely cracking stuff. And James Pedersen coming through with a $5 super chat. Awesome drive from Harley. It was an awesome drive from everyone up there in the top 10. And you could extend that through to the top 22, which is all of them. Poor old Husey was the only casualty there in the DNF stakes. But I tell you what, viewers at home, are you not entertained? Give us a like and subscribe on the channel if you have not. Give us a like on the video as well. That was one of the best races we've seen in a long time. I love it, Zach O'Reilly, when we get sort of alternative strategies just coming to fruition, and they all get to battle it out at the end. It's just perfectly done.
Mate, that was SimSational. Beautiful calling by yourself and myself, just quietly there
goes
as well.
Without saying.
Just goes without saying, exactly. That's why we are SimSational TV. But that was a belter. You could see the optimal strategies coming to fruition, and Cotter definitely on the soft with his teammate Scotty Cordham. First and second, really got the job done. Marshall was under pressure, so that good old 8-second difference between himself and P1 is only because he had to defend it a couple of times from Nick Mallow, McEwen, and Hanley. So that is something for them to put into their brains for this next race coming our way. And cracking drive from everyone inside the top 10, really. They did super well to keep themselves there up and about in that. But we have got a 53 lapper coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. If you've seen anything there, the softs do last 20 laps, ladies and gents. The hard compound tyre will probably last that and a bit more. So are we going to see anything alternate in the pit strategy department? Because the next race, in the format-wise, they have to make a mandatory pit and they have to change compounds at some stage during the race. This could be on for anyone, and I am bloody excited. What a round this Townsville one has been so far. Still got one final dance to go, ladies and gentlemen, so sit back, strap yourselves in, get the Savoyes and the Sayos with some bit of Vegemite and some cheese there and a bit of red wine.
How nice.
You name it, and a bit of triple cream, triple brie sort of thing. Get ready to go, because SimSational TV is going to be back for one final dance. 53 lappers coming our way for the SimSational Supercars in just a hot second.
And we are back on track, ladies and gentlemen, for the feature race of the evening. 53 laps, ladies and gents. It's going to be about an hour out there on circuit for these guys. It's a top 12 reverse grid from the previous results. So Jason McFadden and Andre Elliott from Team Rangiart will be out there on top with Jesse Marshall, Ryan Nielsen backing up behind them with Brandon Pearce and Andrew Ferguson. There's a couple of dark horses to look out for in this next race. Alex McEwen will start 7th position with Dean Hanley, Nick Mello, Harley Marshall starting 10th, and Scott Corder, Matt Cotter.
Quarter time.
I'll tell you what, he's even at quarter strength, he's still one of the strongest drivers out there. He's got Jack Ferguson behind him with Scotty Garrick, Lachlan Grant, Steve Warwick, Alan Nielsen, Will Kirk, Dion Clerk, Benny Asplin in 20th position with Edra Simons, Hayden Cook, and Nathan Hughes rounding out your field. We're going to just have a look because I think we can bring up the team standings here, ladies and gentlemen, which will be interesting because we haven't actually had a look at the team standings tonight. But we're going to bring them up on your screen right now. And Project 4 is way out in front. Look at that. But I'll tell you what, after tonight, Zach O'Reilly, the AK Racing team, the factory team here at AK Racing, is going to probably make up a few positions there. MBR sitting pretty behind them as well with Jesse and Harley Marshall. Ron Marshall in the chat usually. He's the team principal there for MBR. Doing a great job. S Squared Dozen Racing. Who's that? The Fergusons as well. So a lot of family teams getting involved. Zach O'Reilly.
Yeah, definitely. But MBR is right there with those AK Racing boys. So a little bit to think about there as well. And Square Dozen Racing of Fergo and Fergo. So junior and senior ready to go. Monster Energy Racing could be up there with a good showing from Brandon Pierce as well. So we'll see what they can do. But it is a good little mix there. You can see a little bit of a battle between second all the way down to sixth, realistically, all within those 1,000 bracket between 3,000 to 3,800. So going to be interesting. But I'll tell you what, Fat Man, this is going to be the big dance. This is where it all gets sorted and people start to show the difference between the men and the boys here at Townsville. Look at the sunset and look at the time of day, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a race on our hands.
Yeah, I hope the boys have got their headlights all binded to their steering wheels tonight, because I remember last time we came out racing here at the Bend, there was a bit of, we didn't really know if there was going to be a night race or not. And it turned out the last few races, the last few laps were held in darkness. We know for a fact that pretty much half of this race is going to be in darkness, so that we got the track lights are up, and hopefully the headlights are up as well, because this is going to be a absolutely cracking event here on your screens. The lights are up, ready to go here, ladies and gentlemen, for your feature race of the evening. Jason McFadden takes us away from pole. Andre Elliott on his outside gets an absolutely cracking start, and he'll just head him off. Yeah, the Doc's done his practice there on the start, but look at Brandon Pierce around the outside. Let's get a look there. It's Junior Ferguson getting involved as well, but Brandon Pierce just on the outside. Look at that. Who's that? Andrew Ferguson just slotting it up around the outside there of Ryan Nielsen, getting poked into the wall by Jason McFadden, should I say, but Andrew Ferguson was the real winner out of that. But they're going three wide down the order here. That's Pierce on the inside, that's Marshall on the inside, or the further inside, should I say, and Dean Hanley around the outside. It's all about self-preservation in these first couple of laps. Try to get around without getting turned around. It's a very tough thing to do indeed. But look at this, the Marshall brothers side by side, and Harley gets the better of it, and there goes Scotty Garrick up the inside in the only Toyota. Great move from him for AC Karting, but he's found himself in the wall and gives that position back and about four more. Terrible insight there from him, but he'll hang on. But he's going to be under attack from Junior Ferguson now, looking up the inside. He just gets on the anchors, but look at that. Scotty Garrett gives him plenty of room. Who's that around the outside? Scott caught him in 13th position, probably a bit further back than he'd like to be. But look at the closing speed of Junior Ferguson around the outside. Will Kirk looking up the inside as well. This is fantastic racing on the first lap of quite a long race, Zach O'Reilly.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, you got the two AK Racing boys both on the hard compound tyre. So that is where you can see the difference between Captain Kirk and Scotty Cordham. And here goes Captain up the inside. Just too much grip under brakes. Just skips over the inside ripple strip there. He's going to get the job done here because he's on the advantageous sign. A bit of door bashing there from the captain. Is he going to be brave on the brakes? No, he lets Scotty go past him. So one winner in 13th place now at the moment on those hard compound tyres. Really trying to get his wits about him and get into the rhythm, because these soft compound runners are going to be hot on his collar at any stage at the moment. Captain, the two very, very confusing liveries there. I'll give you the hot tip, but nonetheless, looking nice and racy there are these boyos. Captain Kirk on the soft compound tyre. We've got Andre Elliott out in first by 2 seconds over Jason McFadden. And look at Jesse, is that Jesse Marshall? It is indeed. over McEwen. This is the two hard compound runners having a good old tussle. And in the background there goes the Captain Kirk. He's had a good crack there as well. I think that's a position change.
Oh.
Dean Hanley and Nick Mallow have also changed positions as well. So Dino up into 7th place as well. Now into 6th place as well. 8th place, in fact. There we go. Look at Fergo. Have a good crack around the outside. You can see up the inside here of Captain. Fergo's trying to stick it fat around the outside, but he can't get that job done. Now it's a drag race between Nielsen and Cordham. Cordham's going backwards at a rate of knots here. He's just got to get his head involved into this one and go up the inside and just think about the long distance, because on the hard compound tyres, you're going to get swallowed up at the start. But at the race, end of it, it's going to be all on the Donkey Kong. Dean Hanley's got pumped as well there as well. Matt Connor's involved in that one. Jesse Marshall, look at this one. Cordham versus Ferguson versus Nielsen. Oh, big death! And there goes Alan Nielsen. He's full upside down. Oh, that's going to bring a safety car for sure there. That is indeed a dead set murder on screen. Can Nielsen get involved there? I can't hear the guys, and he's just can't even get around at the moment. And the other fact, at the other end of the Nielsen brothers is Ryan up in 5th place. That is beautiful stuff there, and we are looking very racy here. There is a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. Cool. 3 laps into this one. Everyone's got to start slowing down and not overtake each other. A lull in proceedings, and that gap out the front from Doc, McFadden and Ferguson is now going to be neutralised between himself and Brandon Pierce.
Yeah, advantage. All these guys on the hard tyre. The first one, in fact, is who other than Alex McEwen and Nick Mello. Both of these guys actually peeling into the pits. That's an interesting call. So early in this race, 4 laps in, ladies and gents, and we see who we got. Harley Marshall as well, Nick Mello, Alex McEwen, Ezra Simons, all peeling into the pits. Everyone else deciding to go through.
Can I say something without interrupting you?
You certainly can.
If you go now on the hards and get that mandatory compound change out of the way, and another safety car happens, because we know what happens. Safety cars breed safety cars, ladies and gentlemen. You've got that compound change now out of the way. So you can now do a soft here for another 20 laps, which will take you to 24, and then you can opt to go for the soft tyre to maybe get another 30-odd laps out of it, if you can hold on. So a cheap pit stop now for these boys, hence why they've all peeled in Marshall, McEwen and Mello. So interesting strategy call here, but it's a good stuff sort of thing at the end of the race. This is now seat of the pants stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. We have now got to think about the long game for all these guys. You can see all of those soft runners, apart from Matt Cotter, in fact, who's on the hards, leading this race. Jack Ferguson, Grant, Clerk, Hughes, Warwick, Cook, then Nielsen, Simmons, all as well, ready to rock and roll here on those soft compound tyres. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, here's an interesting one. Harley's come out on the hard. So he's got his compound change done. But, oh, man, I tell you what, he might just be finding himself in a little bit of trouble off the restart here with McEwen and Mello and Nielsen and Simons. All those guys very racy on their day. Probably going to give him a fair bit of hurry up on the way past the start-finish line once the flag goes green again. But he's out there on the hards. I'm pretty sure he did start on the softs as well, so he has got his mandatory change in. Who else can we think of? It's green. We're on. That was a quick safety car period, ladies and gentlemen. Andre Elliott now under big pressure there from his old mate, Jason McFadden. I'll tell you what, we haven't seen Jason McFadden up the front, up the pointy end of this Gen 3 field for quite some time, and it's been a sad time. It's good to see. It's good to call his name up there at the front. The 2 Simblacks drivers now for Rangi Out Motorsport doing a great job out there in front. Andrew Ferguson, Mick Ferguson, I was about to say. That's the meal deal there you can get from him on a Friday afternoon there. The Happy Meal. Mick Ferguson, no, it's just been absolutely murdered by Brandon Pierce. Oh, geez. Ferguson would be absolutely spewing of that, because on the restart, he's going to have to try and just filter his way back onto the circuit in a safe manner, which he does. But he's going to lose about 20 positions. Very, very hard pill to swallow there in the Ferguson household. We'll see where his younger self, his younger son there is Jack Ferguson. He's made his way up to 9th position after the restart. But, oh, geez, it's it's tough to see. It's hard to see. It's not what you want to see on the restart there. But Scott Cordham and Jesse Marshall getting very close and personal there on the restart. But I'll tell you what, Lachlan Grant's right there as well. He might even maybe have a little bit of a lunge here, make it 3 wide.
Oh, geez, they're up the inside now. He's not at the moment. That is Scotty Cordham up the inside, though. On one, Jesse Marshall. He's going to get done there. Now Lachlan Grant's up the inside, so he's got the advantageous line here coming into turn 3 as well. So this is exciting stuff from Lachlan Grant. Really pressing the issue now. Door banging and sliding and punching him as well. Just helps him around. That is poor stuff there from Lachlan Grant. Play on, says Christopher Munro.
Yep.
Bit of door bumping and shoving there, but Jesse Marshall's going to be on the blower to the stewards at the moment. Full on effing and singing, I tell you what, into the microphone at this stage. Lachlan Grant keeps going on though, 11 in place at the moment. He's got 1.7 seconds between himself and Scotty Cordham. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do because Cordham is on the hard compound tyre and Grant is on the old softy. So a little bit of gamesmanship coming away. There goes Alex McEwen up the inside of Steve Warwick, who's in 12th place, now 13th. Still mixing it with these big boys. Don't you worry about that, is Steve. Here, Benny Aspin's involved in this one as well. Now is Hayden Cook, the chef, really coming to fruition, putting the burners on now, getting those 4 pieces up to firing and getting that lamb shank. Bit of medium rare style here for the cook at the moment, but Nick Mallow really on the back also now of Steve Warwick. Warwick's gone defensive here, which is right on the perfect line. He just needs to keep that line and that distance between himself. Now, unless Nick Mallow thinks about it, no, he can't. He goes around the outside, but look at that under brakes. That is all done bar the rabbits at the moment for Nick Mallow. Cuts off the nose there, and you will just skip around the outside, easy as you like, over Steve Warwick. Into 13th place he goes. But it's all on Donkey Kong. We got Dean Hanley on the arse end of Brandon Pierce now for 5th place. The chef trying to get through positions as well. But look at this battle. Half a second up on his own personal best is Dino Hanley. But this is now a race on here for the big man.
Yeah, it is. He's got the murderer on screen. Poor old Pierce is going to have to drag himself up to the steward's office as well after this. But look at that. Hanley just have to lock the brakes up because I don't think he was expecting Pierce to get on the brakes so suddenly. But it might have been just a little bit of gamesmanship there from the magician as well, just maybe keeping Hanley on his toes back there in the Camaro. But I'll tell you what, he's very, very close indeed. We can see out the back of Brandon Pierce's car there too, the Camaro of Dean Hanley, and Hanley just opting to stay out of the suck, which might be maybe a point for the Zach O'Reilly School of going fast to maybe bring up in the next lesson. Stick on the back wing of that thing, and look at the beautiful shot there of the sunset over this the Northern Queensland circuit here at Townsville. It's absolutely beautiful scenes out there at the moment. We've got Cordham and Grant and Alex McEwen all nose to tail here, down for 10th position. Scott Cordham, look at the middle, what do you call it, the mid-corner speed of Alex McEwen. It was absolutely fantastic there. Had to kind of avoid a little collision with Lockie Grant. But speaking of Lockie Grant, I think he's in the clear there. That little incident we saw with him and Marshall earlier on, we had the luxury of having the SimSational chopper view from the top, and it looked to me like he was absolutely squeezed up to the inside. He had the overlap and was not given enough room, so I'm all in the camp there that is play on there for Lockie Grant, and he will receive no penalty for that, I'm sure. But look at this. We're going to ride on board with Alex McEwen. If we can get the right bloody view there. There was somebody off the track. Scotty Garrett going backwards as well. Mello and Cook and Warwick taking advantage of that. But these three are absolutely nose to tail now. There goes Mello up the inside. Lockie Grant, should I say, on Scott Cordham. He's the race one winner and pole sitter here at the moment, but he's just seems to be struggling a little bit under full tilt. We're going to go 3 wide. There's a little bit of contact between Grant and McEwen, and Scott Cordham rubs his hands together and says, "Keep that going, boys. I'm going to just try and steer clear of that while you guys battle." And Mello's now tacked onto the back of this 4-way battle, Zach O'Reilly.
This is a cracking little tussle here between 4 of them. You got the owner of AK Racing, the 2 quick customers there of McEwen and Mello, and then you got Marshall Brothers Racing involved in this one too, as the Sky. Starting to get darker, look at that! Oh no! Corner's been turned around. He's going to take out Lockie Grant as well. 4 metres on the screen there. Nick Mello's just going to stick it around the outside and say, "I had no part in that one. I'm going around it." And that is disaster there. That was a 3-way tussle on the screen, and look out, Brussels sprout. I'll tell you what, not going to be some happy customers there. I can hear the race stewards absolutely going nuts in the background there. Calls left, right, and centre about that one. And I'll tell you what, as it gets darker here, the brains of these boys are going to get super dark with that sort of nonsense here. We can see the sun setting at a rate of knots. We're going to be under lights here within the next 20 minutes or so here at Townsville. And these guys are now starting to get into that position where they think about what they're going to do. They're going to go long. Are they going to go short? Are they going to change in and position themselves for an undercut? Look at McEwen here on Scotty caught him. No prisoners at all taken, but McEwen's locked it up. So is Scotty there as well. But he's going to go for the inner move there and get up alongside him for the next right-hander coming his way. McEwen's got the job there, but he pulls into the inside and thinks nothing about it. But he's going to try and dummy. Caught him out of something there, but he doesn't get the job done. Beautiful stuff there from Scotty. He's got to get this race car hooked up right now because the hard compound tyres are starting to come into their own. 10 laps in, they're at half life now for these soft compound tyres. If he keeps giving up positions, he's just going to be on the back foot. And look at McEwen. Trailer Park girls him around the outside on the advantageous side of the inside of the circuit. Jumps the curb there. And look at Cordham trying to go around the outside now. Can he get the job done? No, he can't. And here comes Hayden Cook. He's on the back of this battle too now. He can smell the roses in front of him. See these boys battle hammer and tong, and the headlights are coming into effect. The street lights of Townsville Circuit also now lighting up the ground in front of us too. We are racing into the twilight here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an absolute rip snorter. Strategies, conditions, track changing, temperatures as well. And look at Steve Warwick on poor old Andrew Ferguson. Look at that car. It is more hits than Elvis, Freddie Mercury, and poor old, I reckon, Elton John put together.
Yeah, you're not wrong. A few hits between those boys, and I
in the back end.
Yeah, of course. I caution fuck me. I caution to say there might be a few more hits by the end of this race as well. So those boys busy writing the tunes for the next couple of hours. Well, for the next hour, let's say. But 11 laps through this 53-lap race now, and you'd expect there to be some big gaps, but it's not. No one's really dropped anyone. Andre Elliott is doing a great job out in front. Ryan Nielsen is in second position currently. Jason McFadden in third, with Dean Hanley in the box seat of some of the guys that were up there in the top 10 to start off with. Brandon Pearce has now pulled into the pits for an early stop, and he's slapped the wall on the way in. We spoke about this in the early stages of this broadcast as well. It's a very tight and tricky little entrance to this pit lane. And there goes Brandon Pearce coming in for an early pit stop, getting off the soft tyre. He might come out on the hard for that second stint.
Yes.
It's a good strategy. I would have done that as well myself. The softer start, wait for a bloody the safety car come in. The boys from Project 4, remember, did come in for an impromptu pit stop on lap 4 or 5 when that first safety car came out. So keeping in mind for those guys when we come to the next round of pit stops, where I think we'll see probably around lap 20, we'll see the majority of these drivers come in for their scheduled stop. But the guys that were on the ball, there was only 4 drivers that came into the pits in that first safety car period, Zach O'Reilly. So those guys on their toes and willing to try something different to mix it up and go for the win in the main event of this evening.
Yeah, definitely. Even you can see the guys out in front, though, all inside the top 4, or all onside that soft compound, did not opt to come in for that pit stop in the safety car. Look at Cordham, though, on the hard compound now, just trying to get his way around Steve Warwick. Steve Warwick's on the perfect side of the racetrack here, so he's going to have a little bit of a defensive manoeuvre go, but look out, the chef is right behind them too, chiming in on this one. So it's going to be interesting to see what the chef can do. Cordham, no absolute winner there on the hard compound tyre versus the soft of Steve Warwick. But look at this on the front straightaway now. We're going to go 2 abreast here coming into turn 2 at the moment. Cordham's trying to go a long way around the outside. Is he going to get the job done? He's really deep under brakes. That was Steve Warwick's lock up there, but I think Cordham's just going to get the chockies and get that grip out of the corner. He does. Beautifully done. Into 11th place. He goes into the hard compound tyres. He's going to make this one last another 40 laps if he possibly can. Cook has overcooked that bloody corner. I'll tell you what. full medium rare to full charcoal style, and lost that one there. He's probably going to be gnawing on a carcass at this stage. It's all overcooked here at the moment. Oh, even on the bounce as well. That was dead set mare for him. And Brandon Pierce is going to go through at a rate of knots on that hard compound tire himself. That fresh compound for Pierce. So he's going the long run here. So look out for that blue and orange Monster Energy Mustang in the long run there. Marshall now trying to get up the inside. Two of the chef now has gone from bad to worse. Gordon Ramsay has kicked him out of the kitchen and said, fuck off, mate. Get your bloody serving hat on. Get that chef white off. You are out of this one, because here comes Nielsen, and he's trying to join in on this party as well.
Yeah,
but at the front, though, it's Husey into the pits now. He's called it quits. But look at Andre Elliott versus Nielsen at the front. It is only 3/10. McFadden's there within 6/10. And Dino Handley also within a second of this battle. It's a four-way go here within a half a lap time, I reckon, for P1.
Yeah, about quarter distance through this lap now, or through this race, should I say, and the top four are starting to compress. That's what we want to see here, viewers, as well. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, because there's plenty of that in the bank. Here goes Nielsen, just peeling out from the inside of Andre Elliott. This could be a race lead move here, and he does just get it done. And look at McFadden here chiming in as well on his old mate Andre Elliott, but just overcooks it. He always was going to go into the bits there. So it's now down to a three-way battle. Dean Handley up on the inside now, looking at Andre Elliott and Alan Nielsen, should I say, not Andre, or any of those guys. The red cordial starting to kick in nicely here for the catering here at Townsville. It's very nicely done. But Alan Nielsen going defensive there for Andre Elliott, trying to look around the outside. I think looks like Nielsen's just going a little bit slowly here. It's going to open up the opportunity for Elliott. Wow, it just cops a little bit of a shunt from behind from Dean Handley, and that's put them both the kind of teammates. I think that they're from separate facets of the same team, Sim Blacks 1 and 2. So it's all racing stations here for the two Camaros, with the Mustang out in front of Ryan Nielsen, and he's probably happy with that. He wants these two guys to battle it on while he just sort of skips away and does his best impression of Oscar Piastri, hopefully later on tonight. But look at Dean Handley up the inside, very opportunistic opportunity taken there from the SDT driver there, and he will take the effective lead of the race as Nielsen peels into the pits for his first time through the pit lane. He'll probably come out with a fresh set of hards on just for this middle stint and take them as far as they go. But Dean Handley now, your new race leader with Andre Elliott, both of the Sim Black drivers, 1 and 2 at the moment.
Yeah, look at this. This is a perfect opportunity for Dean Handley. First time he's led a race here at AK Racing, I'll tell you what. And he's in the prime position at the moment, 16 laps in, and he's doing 16.6s whilst battling. So if he can keep it within that 1 minute 15 gap, he is still on par with the hard paces as well, the hard lap paces as well. So going to be very, very interesting for Dino. He's got 16 laps old softs on at this point in time. We saw him go 20 on the second race. Yeah. Can he keep it together and keep it on the track? Just getting a track cut there, he will be. Hopefully he hasn't got too many of them, because real penalty will kick him after 5 transitions through that track cut. But Captain Kirk as well, also not pitting for this one at this stage in 6th place. And he's got Nick Mallow in front of him. So really, really good showing here from the captain. Finally coming to fruition. He just needs some more practice as the captain. He needs to get on about 3 or 4 days beforehand, because he's a late bloomer. He's like the old rose on a winter's day. He just pops out at the last minute with the sunshine and starts to come to fruition. It's good stuff there from captain at this stage. We're really handing the back of one of the quicker customers of Nick Mallow here on that soft compound tyre. And mind you, they're both on the soft compound, so it's no difference. And the sun has setted, ladies and gentlemen, or is setted. Geez, that's another word to the dictionary. Oh, Nick Mallow on the slide there. And I reckon captain saw that happen too and shut himself. But the pit stops are coming to fruition. Doc's into the pits now. Dean Handley is elected to stay out. Matt Cotter, he's 11 seconds behind the leader now. And I reckon at this stage, he's going to have to come in for a pit stop at some rate of knots. Yeah. What is Dean Handley going to do too? Because I don't think those hard compound tyres are going to last 40-odd laps, as we saw for the safety car early on in this session, Christopher. And look at the slide there from Steve Warwick. He's getting all pressure points put on him from McFadden. McFadden's definitely got the chockies, because Warwick wagging that tail as well, as quick as a $2 hooker on the street side, and McFadden gets straight past him.
Yeah, there's not much he can do about that. Poor old Warwick just getting on the power a little bit too overzealously. But look at this. You don't see this very often. Two Toyota Supras locked in a tight battle here. It's Scotty Garrick and Dion Clerk, albeit for 20th position. It's got nothing to do with the Toyota badge itself. All these cars are the same under the hood. They just have different looks on the outside to keep sim racing nice and even. But I still don't understand why there's not more Supras. I think they look fantastic. And I'll tell you what, in the heat of battle, they look even better, because here goes Dion Clerk. He might just have a little overlap, not quite here. But I tell you what, knowing Dion Clerk, he's going to be nice and patient here, looking for the late apex and just trying to stick up under the rear wing of Scotty Garrick there for AC Karting, and giving his life hell for the next few laps as long as they can hold on to these new tyres. Scott Garrick is on the hard compound, mind you. So Dion Clerk just trying to get the upper hand while he's got the sunshine. But we're going to have to go up the front, because Junior Ferguson's got his hands full with Nick Mello behind in that Camaro. It's Ford versus Camaro. Let's have a look from the chopper, and the track lights are ablazing as Nick Mello is ablazing as well up the inside there through the fast chicanes of turn 5 and 6 or 7, whatever it may be, as he goes through to the next stage of this race. And he is absolutely flying now on those new set of softs. Poor old Jack Ferguson, but he's up there in the top 4. He's well worthy of a top 4 finish as well. So if he can keep that consistent, I hope to see him right up there indeed. Excuse me. Oh God, I've just swallowed a bloody bug there. Excuse me. Harley Marshall and Brandon Pierce now getting stuck right in Zach O'Reilly.
Jesus Christ, as Chris dies off screen there, I'll tell you what. Nielsen, right in this one too. His car's looking a bit second-hand, so he's got a little bit of something to think about there as Nielsen. But Pearso, on that hard compound tyre, Marshall and Cordham in front of him are both on the same compound. Poor old Doc Dre is also on the hard compound tyre. Just got that updated as well. Captain Kirk's into the pits. Nick Mallows into the pits as well on lap 19. So they've called it quits on those compounds as well, but they're suffering now. Excuse me, as I got on screen as well. And we just commentator cursed ourselves on the coughing stations. But Pearso having a good old tussle up the inside there. Oh, that's going to be close. That was as a bee's dick as you want to ever see there, between collision there from himself and Harley Marshall. Great stuff from Pearso to keep the car pointed in the right direction as Chris goes for the toilet in the background there, just having a quick slash outside the off stop. And I'll tell you what, it's looking very racy here for Pearso and Marshall. Now Cordham's really, really struggling here at this stage too. So if you keep yourselves looked at the front of the grid, it's 14 and a bit seconds over Hanley and Cotter. Then you got Ferguson as well, all on different compounds. But these guys here on the Hardies are probably going to go the distance, I reckon. He's going for distance. He's going for speed. Oh, yeah, that's what we're looking for
showing
there
our
in
age
the karaoke. Oh, yeah, showing our age, 100%. Although you've got 7 years over me, and I'm still up there with the best of them, Christopher Munro.
Absolutely. It's the golden age of music and just life in general. But poor old Ferguson going back there, he's just come to grips with the wall and lost about 3 or 4 positions because of it. And here goes Pierce as well. Look, he's just taking advantage. Poor old Ferguson. Not going for distance or speed at the moment. He's going in the opposite direction and just dropping down like an absolute stone. But we're going to ride on board with Ferguson and see if he can maybe return serve. It looks like Pierce is going to have a look up the inside of Harley Marshall here at the moment. Little bit of maybe contact. No, yes, now there's contact. And Ferguson now will go up the inside of Harley Marshall, who almost centre punches the back. Oh, my goodness, that's not a lot of room given there from Harley Marshall. But I tell you what, Brandon Pierce will be clapping his hands together because he's just broken free of that little battle there. And look, 20 laps through. We're almost halfway through this race, ladies and gentlemen, and there's still battles just forming and dissipating all up and down this field. Dean Hanley, our race leader, now comes into the pits. We're going to just focus on him and just see where he comes out. Matt Cotter goes past doing a 1:16.2. That's quite slow in the grand scheme of things, isn't it, Zach O'Reilly? So maybe Matt Cotter maybe due for another pit stop. Do you think we can go 32 laps on a set of softs? I don't think that's possible. It certainly may be possible on a set of hards. I'm not too sure how far a full tank of fuel gets you. But,
yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what's going on here with Dino Hanna. That was an oddly quick pit stop from him. I reckon he was going to put about, maybe, 60-odd litres in, 50-odd? I don't know. But it didn't look like that was 50-odd seconds worth of fuel.
No.
Maybe banking on a late safety car for Dino, but he's on the hard compounds nonetheless. So we'll see what he does. He's still in third place, mind you. He's only 12 seconds off the lead of this race overall. So if anyone else comes into the pits, he could do that and then come out on that soft compound tyre and have a good crack. But look at this, though. Pierso really hounding the back now of the owner of AK Racing, Scotty Cordham, and just showing what a Mustang can do versus a Camaro. Really, really driving well is Pierso, playing that long game beautifully. And you can see Doc and Scotty Cordham in front of him, all on the same compound. So now it's just a rate of attrition, and Harley Marshall behind him too. But McEwen having a mare at this stage, that early pit stop from him on the soft compound tyre has cleared him of any sort of compound change disqualification. But is it going to hurt him in the long run? I'm not too sure. Right on the arse end of Cousin there as well. Jeez, that was a bit of neck coat if I've ever seen it. But fight's on another day here, and it's going to be interesting because you can see now McEwen on those soft compound tyres is probably in that mid to late sort of era of those soft compounds, rather dying in the arse. So we'll see what this man can do and see what it comes to fruition at the end of this race. But look at the sunset. Look at the lights take effect. And McEwen, look at him up the inside, takes the P off McFadden for P10. Finds himself there as now. He's going to have to fight hard for it, but I think he's got this one covered.
Yeah, absolutely. He was always going to get that job done. Alex McEwen, obviously in command of this championship as well, about 100 points shy of Matt Cotter. But I tell you what, he needs to get his boogie on if he wants to keep that domination in the championship alive. But as I said, we're not even halfway through this race yet, and we've seen miracles happen in the Project 4 camp, especially on the Mustang side of the garage, which is McEwen's side. So never count him out of the race once he gets a little bit of clear air in front of him, which he almost does. You can see on the track map there, he's got just a bit of a gaggle of cars in front of him there as they all turn around the final corner. But all those guys are probably thinking they're just about ready for a pit stop as well. And McEwen, on his day, is the quickest guy out there. So don't count him out yet, ladies and gentlemen, because there is a nice little battle up ahead. That is Nielsen, Mello, and Harley Marshall heading off these three guys. We're going to ride on board with Nielsen, should I say, as the sun has fully set over Castle Hill here in Townsville. What a beautiful sight out here under lights. We should be racing into the night time for the very foreseeable future. It's if you like it out there in viewership land, give us some feedback in the chat. Does it look nice with the sky nice and dark and the headlights ablaze and the track lights ablaze? But Harley Marshall and Nick Mello getting very acquainted with each other. Now we're 3 wide. This is what we want to see. Nielsen pulls out of it, and very much wisely, because that was going to end in tears. But Mello and Harley Marshall are going to try and just battle it on. Here goes McEwen around the outside of Nielsen. It's 2x2 here on the Noah's Ark. Who are the guys on the inside? It's Project 4. Here goes Mello, so he's got the advantage now. All just bumping and drafting down the sideline. McEwen and Nielsen side by side still. They're going to battle all the way down the main straight, Zach O'Reilly.
This is cracking stuff. Nielsen got a beautiful exit there on the outside of the circuit, so he's going to have the advantageous side of the track. If he can keep it really, really shallow there on entrance, he's going to be all over the inside there of Alex McEwen. McEwen's trying to fat way around the outside, but I think McEwen is not on the right side of the track. No, he's not, but Nielsen's had a mare on exit, and that's cleared the old overlap. And poor old Alex McEwen, Ryan Nielsen, has lost that 8th place over Alex McEwen. Got into that job done beautifully, did Alex. SimSational exit. And look at that on the inside. Oh, that was nearly disaster there between McEwen and poor old Harley Marshall. And Nielsen's back in this one, all in a blink of an eye. He can see the chockies in front of him. He can sniff the old baromic flavour there as well. Really, really having a good crack there too between himself and McEwen's on the slide there. And look at the gap between these three. Not even half a car length between the three of them. McEwen's going to go full attack mode here. Harley Marshall's got no answer for him, but Nielsen's trying to slip it up the inside. Going to get that job done. just at the point of knock. Now it's going to be all Nielsen. Oh, no, touch. And there goes Harley Marshall. Oh, somehow he's cooked it together. He's going to go into the pits anyway because he's had enough of that nonsense and put on that hard compound tyre once again, I reckon, and just go through to the end and let these other guys battle it out for 6th and 7th place. You look at Mallow and Scotty Cordham having a good old tussle between them two. Cordham, sorry. He's around the outside. He's really deep on the brakes. Is that too far? No, it's not. But McEwen has Mallow, Jesus Christ. Mallow's got the point of job. He's got that job done. Beautiful stuff there from him. And that is going to be a P6 all done and dusted there for Scotty Cordham. He was on for P5. Now it's a race to the end here. We've got under 30 laps left in this one. And these boys are going long. And I've been told that Dino Hanley has put in the fuel to the end. He's on that hard compound tyre until day is done. He's 13 seconds away from Matt Cotter. Definitely a pit stop covered here at the moment. What can he do?
Yeah, great strategy call there from Dean Hanley. He's got 8.5 seconds up his sleeve there to Andre Elliott and Brandon Pearce. The next guy that's probably going to maybe try and shake up his evening is here, Nick Mello, and he's got his hands full as well with Brandon Pearce, the magician, who, as we've seen in the past, can pull a rabbit out of the hat at any stage in this race, and he's certainly going to do it here as well. He's got Nick Mello. Let's have a look out the back of Pearce's car here, because look at that under lights. You've got that flaming Chevy Camaro back there with the FUIC logo on the back. Oh, here we go, and just leaves the door open. That was a little bit disappointing there from the magician. I've seen better from him, and just lets Mello through. Pretty much gives him a written invitation. Brandon Pearce, go home. Buy a mirror from Spotlight and have a good hard look in it at yourself. Jesus Christ. All right, who's next? Who's next? Jason McFadden or Ryan Nielsen?
After a spray like that, I'll tell you what, the humidity has risen in the commentary box. I've been showered here by that. That was absolute dead set gold commentary there from Christopher Munro, I'll tell you what. But McFadden in the prime seat as well. Has he got enough fuel to go to the end in 9th place? He'll be singing to the high heavens. He has got 10,000 hair follicles in the bank at the moment. 20,000 if he keeps P9. It's going to be interesting to see. Dale Clerk and Nathan Hughes also in the pits now too. Nathan Hughes is actually DNF this one. So is Ezra Simmons too. And there's a safety car called, ladies and gentlemen.
Safety car.
Oh, now this is going to throw a cut amongst the pigeons. This is interesting. Who has crossed the line? Matt Cotter and Dean Hanley have crossed the start-finish line.
No.
And so has Doc Elliott too. So they've missed out.
Mello
is in the pits. McFadden's also not got a pit.
Out.
Cordham's in the pits. McEwen's in the pits. Nielsen is also in the pits. Jack Ferguson has not gone into the pits in 10th place as well. Captain Kirk is going to elect to go into the pits himself. No, he's not. He is going around one more time, Daft Punk style. The rest of them have peeled into the pits apart from everyone there. So very, very interesting stuff here.
Pearso.
Oh, geez. Pearso is now in the hot seat, I would say, here to have a good old tussle for the rest of them. And on that hard compound tyre, he will be singing to the high heavens here with that H on his rims at this stage, because this is going to stop all of that wear rate that would have come at a full race pace distance, and he will now be in the hot seat for this one. But keep in mind that poor old Matt Cotter has come into the pits as well. So Dan Hanley is effectively going to be in the lead of this race with only 4 or 5 lap old hards too. And now it's going to be really, really tussling for the end of this one. It's going to be a rate of attrition. Who has got that wear marker down to the wire at the end of this one? We've got, what have we got? We have got 26 laps left in this one. And we will be finding out who is going to be the winner.
Yeah, this has just changed the complexity of this race 100%. Dean Hanley is the first one to line up behind the safety car. Matt Cotter has pitted and come out in second position, so he is absolutely flying here at the moment. He's got the soft compound on as well.
That's a gamble.
It is a gamble, but I like it. I absolutely love that decision there from Matt Cotter. He's going to get the jump on Hanley in front, and there's probably not much Dean can do about it. Of the restart when we get going again, Cotter's just going to have the superior stopping power and obviously the pace as well, and he's going to probably have that for another 10 15 laps, so that takes you to 40 odd mid-40s, and then he's just got to hang on for another 8 laps. I think that's a stroke of genius there from Matt Cotter. Let me know if I've got that wrong in the chat, but I'm tipping him for the win. straight away here. Jace McFadden, Junior Ferguson there in fourth. Brandon Pierce, they're all on the hards. Here's a call, ladies and gents. AK Racing 1 and 2 to finish this race. Scott Cordham, the next man on the softs. And Zach O'Reilly's, we've lost correspondence with him. He might be in correspondence with the race directors to find out what's going on. But
yes,
let me know. I think Scott Cordham's just set himself up for very much a podium finish here.
Well, he could do because he's on that hard compound tyre. So no, he's on the soft compound actually.
Yeah,
in fact,
I'm tipping the softies. I'm tipping the softies off this restart.
I'll give you the hot tip here, ladies and gentlemen, and Christopher Munro. The soft tyres are good until lap 22. So if you put the maths together, that is lap 50. So if they are on like Donkey Kong, but then they fall off a cliff like no other, they start doing 116s, 117s. If you can monitor that, just, that's something to think about here. So Dino Hanley's in a bit of pressure point motors. Is he going to let him go past in Matt Cotter? Because on those soft compound tyres, they saw that they lasted the race there in lap one, in race 2. Sorry, they were well and truly out in front, and it's going to be interesting to see what these boyos can do. How much fuel they got on board, because those little bits of leaders are going to be the difference between getting that 1 or 2 tenths. It could be the passing opportunity. The safety car has been called in for this lap, so we are going to go racing very, very shortly. And it is now on like Donkey Kong. Looks like a fucking mile away from the race finish, but I'll tell you what, it is nothing but over here in the grand scheme of things as we get racing at this lap end. Holy mackerel.
Hell yeah, look at them all just go streaming past here. I think this is where the big brains come in to fruition. Zach O'Reilly, we see there's a couple of big gaps here as well in between the mid pack. I think all these guys need to kind of look at that. That's a massive gap in the midfield there. I don't know what's going on there, but the race directors have this under control. And look at that, Ford Raptor is quite rapid around this street circuit. We're about to get ready to go racing. We're going to find a nice little view here. And Zach O'Reilly, you could call us off the restart. When is Dean Hanley? Have you gone over these kind of restart scenarios with him in driver training?
It's too hard to call because he's got control. So I've got no idea, ladies and gentlemen, what he's going to do and where he's going to go for it. But at this stage, I would say try and get an early jump on him. He's gone already. So he's gone straight away. But he's locked it up into turn 1. That's gonna hurt him on exit. But will he fight? Will he battle it on? He's got a good exit there, actually. Even though he went wide, he's sort of got the good run. So I think he's just going to be able to maybe defend if he sticks it up the inside. Or is he going to let Cotter go past and burn his tyres out? Who knows? But Cotter's up the inside now, and that is it. That is going to be P1 done and run there for Matt Cotter. Can he get the old 23 lapper style out of these soft compound tyres? Who knows in the grand scheme of things? But that is your change of the lead there for Matt Cotter. He is now taking control of this race, and this is on like Donkey Kong as they all stream past here. We can see them all, what we're up to, 15th or 16th place, and then we can see the rest of them go through there on the screen, looking very, very racy. Everyone on the hard, apart from Matt Cotter, all the way down to 7th place. And then we've got Cordham, McEwen, Marshall on the soft compound tyre, Ferguson on the hard, Captain Kirk and Jesse Marshall are the last ones, top 13. So we've got, what have we got? We've got 7 out of the top 13 on a set of hard tyres, and that's going to come to fruition here. You can see what McEwen's doing. You can see what he's trying to think about. He's going to be not letting each other go through and battle because he knows about the long game. So is Nick Mallow there too. Project 4, a bit of a battle here between team compatriots on the race bombs, and there goes Alex McEwen because he got the job done over Nick Mallow on the slide there into the final turn. Oh no, that's disaster. That was a turnaround there, I think, or a concertina effect. I think Cordham hit Pierce, and then they all sort of backed up into each other, but just out of the point of knot. Did Brandon Pierce survive that one? Kirk, and now he's at the back end of this one. You can see these guys coming to fruition, but look at this. It is McEwen versus Cordham versus Mallow. Cordham up the inside on the soft compound tyre. He's got the grip. McEwen's trying to go the inside of Brandon Pierce, and he's got that job done. Beautiful stuff there. Clean as a daisy there for the pass there for 7th place from McEwen versus Pierce. Pierce is going to try on the inside again, though. He's going to have another crack. Oh, Pierce versus McEwen. Elbows out, shoulders up there. Mallow in the background going sideways. There goes Harley Marshall too. having a good old crack there, I think, on the back of Mallow, but he can't get the job done. But Pierso muscles his way through, somehow gets it out cleanly. Look at Marshall now, right on the back end of Nick Mallow, who's on that hard compound tyre. He knows at the moment it's Harley Marshall. Oh, look at that in the background. There goes Captain. And there goes Jesse Marshall avoiding action there too. Took advantage of that position. I'm not sure if that's allowed or not allowed in the racing books. I think it was mid-collision, so race onwards. Marshall now in 10th place. You can see Nick Mallow struggling on that hard compound tyre. Into the night we go here. Dead set, clear as a daisy. You can see the stars in there in the foreground as well at Townsville. I'll tell you what, they've got to be careful here. The race stewards and the commentary box has got to be starting barring up at the moment. We are in a whole lot of trouble here, but these guys out on track are racing like there is no tomorrow. We've still got 22 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but you know what it's like out there when we get a track restart. It's all hell for leather as these guys... Oh, no, look at that. Ferguson's been turned around by Scott Cordham there. He's going to have to answer to the stewards there for sure. And poor old McEwen, I don't think Scott Cordham knows what to do there because he's under pressure. Look at the snake of cars there just behind him. It may have been, but there's so many black and yellow cars. It's very hard to be certain here in the commentary box. But Alex McEwen and Scott Cordham, as I said, starting on the restart there with the soft compound tyre, they were always going to be making their way through the field. Dean Hanley and Jason McFadden are probably their next victims on the list. Poor old Ian Clerk has now been given a drive-through for his quota of cutting the track. He only gets 5 chances. On the 6th, you get to go through the pit lane on a scenic route. So poor old Dion Clerk in the Toyota will be doing that. But we're going to ride on board here with Alex McEwen and see there is no way. There is another safety car. Oh, my goodness me. It's all happening here late here. Not only late in the race, but late figuratively or literally speaking here in the day. These guys are just going to have to calm it down as Alex McEwen set himself up nicely for the overtake. It's not going to happen this time, ladies and gentlemen, because we are now ready for another safety car, and I don't think anyone's going to be coming into the pits this time. It's going to be just play on because everyone was so close there in the grand scheme of things. Cotter might even chance his arm. Oh no, you wouldn't really. There's no pitting this time around. It's just another little restart and away we go.
Yeah, if we've got 21 laps left in this one, and you're trundling around at 80 kilometres an hour on that soft compound, it's just coming to play to your hands. You have got the dead set 21. The blackjack is on here for Matt Cotter. He has got the ace and the ace of spades and the jack of spades there to take it all for himself. He is singing to the high heavens, and that safety car has come out. And poor old Dino Hanley here, it's going to be good for him, but he's got a little bit of a buffer between himself and McFadden too. So if McFadden can hold up Scotty Cordham and Scotty Cordham behind. But look at the peeling in of the pit lane, actually. McEwen, Mallow, Marshall, Ferguson, Harley Marshall as well. Both of them have all come into the pits, but I reckon they're going to bolt on a fresh set of soft tyres to maybe hound the rest of them. It is interesting, but it is a cheaper pit stop under the safety car. They will start flocking down the grid and seeing where they end up. Jesse Marshall has come out in 17th place. McEwen is in 10th at the moment. Harley Marshall still out there on the 2-stopper. Hayden Cook on a 2-stopper. Benny Aspin on a 2-stopper. Nick Mallow, Ferguson, all on the 3rd stop of the night. And McEwen. McEwen is in prime position here, I reckon, Christopher.
I don't think so, man.
For something. I reckon we could be on for a gamble here in the commentary box. I'm going to put a P3 on the board here for McEwen by the time it comes to it.
Well, the way you can measure it is the bloke he was battling with is here, Scott Cordham. And he's up there in 4th position on a set of softs that are only, 2 laps older than the ones that McEwen's on now, and he's got about 6 cars?
I think it's
6 or 7 cars between them. So
4 laps?
No, I think it was only 2 since the last safety car. But it's hard to tell once the green flags are out. I'm just in an absolute trance here in the commentary box. It's hard to keep time or keep aware of space and time. Indeed.
Collision!
What's going on?
Mallow has been collected in the background. by dead set one of the Mustangs there, and I think that was Jack
Jeff
Ferguson.
Yeah,
There was. Got collected there. Holy mackerel, under full-on safety car. And you come together at 80 k's an hour. They can race at 200 cleanly. Can't do it at 80.
Yeah.
That is something to behold. But nonetheless, the safety car's going around for one more lap. It's going to be in this lap. Don't you worry about that. You can see it on the broadcast there. This is the lap to go. And we have got 19 laps, actually, left to go racing here, and it is on like Donkey Kong. You can see McFadden weaving at this stage, trying to keep those hard tyres warm as Chris Munro's you-know-what, and ready to rock and roll because he's got Corden behind him, Pierce behind him, Lachlan Grant, all quick customers. Grant, Nielsen, Elliott, all on the hard compound tyre. Darren Clerk's taken his drive-through very cheap under a safety car. Nonetheless, don't know what the stewards will say about that. But then you've got the quick guys. You've got McEwen, Marshall, Mallow, Jack Ferguson in 15th place, all on the freshest tyres on the racetrack. Where will they end up? Inside the top 10, inside the top 5? Who knows? But the safety car is coming in.
Yeah, as we've said, these soft tyres last about 20 laps, so you'll see those guys that just strapped on the new set. That's McEwen, that's Marshall. That's Mello, that's Ferguson, Jesse Marshall as well. You're going to see them fighting their way through the pack. But anything can happen now. Anything can happen now, ladies and gentlemen. As we saw in the last round here at the Bend, we saw about 3 or 4 safety cars in the last few laps of this race. Because these guys start to get bunched up again and they start to lose their minds out there, and you just get collisions and then more safety cars. So where you want to be is right in the front of this race, and that's Matt Cotter. He's got a fresh set of softs, and I'll tell you what, the more times that it gets restarted, the redder that his face becomes under that helmet, because he just wants to get out there and set some qualifying laps and absolutely pants the field, which is certainly what he's capable of. But when he keeps getting cut down by the safety car, it's certainly frustrating. But now, here he goes. We're green again here for lap 35 of the main ground. Look at the traction he's got. That's already a second gap between him and Dean Hanley. And he's under big pressure now from Jason McFadden. Scott Cordham's right up there. He's on the soft tyre as well. We're going to see what happens now into the braking zone of turn 1. Scott Cordham just slots in behind Jason McFadden. Very close there. Maybe a little bit of contact. Scott Cordham getting a little bit sideways as well. But he's got just as good traction as Jason McFadden. Just lets him yield there through. But McFadden's off into the bunda. Hits the fence just a little bit. There goes Pierce as well. The magician has pulled the rabbit out of the hat up into 4th position. Great start from him. Fantastic stuff, and great restart there from Grant as well. He's right up behind McFadden. He's on all these guys are on the hard compound tyre, so you expect them to be just a little bit slower than the guys closing in behind. That is Will Kirk, and look at McEwen, just racy as anything out there behind him. Right on the back of Will Kirk through the final few turns of Sector 3. He's going to try and send it here. That's very un-Alex McEwen-like, but gets the power down nicely. Just wants to get up the inside here of Kirk, and I think he's going to do it nicely. Kirk just peeling into the pits. It's probably not the best time for him to do that. He's going to find himself way down the back by the time he comes out. But there goes Alex McEwen and everyone behind him up another position. Matt Cotter still leads this race, Zachary.
He does indeed. Don't you worry about that. But he's galloped out to 2.5 seconds. Dean Hanley's gone backwards as well. Scotty Cordham's in front of him too. So it's an AK Racing 1 and 2 here at the moment. It's just damage limitation for everyone on those hard compound tyres. The good news is you've got Hanley, Pierce, McFadden, Grant and Nielsen all on hard compound tyres. So they're all going to be racing for the final podium positions here, unless those soft compound tyres start to die in the arse. And you can see there in the background, holy mackerel, is all happening there for the rest of them. I'll tell you what, these guys are not giving each other an inch. Marshall right now on the back here of Nick Mellor, the two soft runners at this stage, having a good old tussle between each other. And it looks like at the moment it's advantage Mallow, but he's going to try and claw his way through the field because Andre Elliott is a sitting duck on those soft compound tyres. Unless Harley Marshall gets a beautiful run, this is incredible. Nielsen's got the drive through as well for cutting. Disaster for him, but Marshall as well at this stage. Really, really good at this stage. Up the inside he goes. Tried to go around the outside, did Nick Mellor. Yes. Now they're touching doors and they're full on drifting into each other. Dead set racing at its hardest there. McEwen, he's got a position on Mallow. You can see at the front there as well, but this battle is on like Donkey Kong. Look at McEwen go through on that soft compound tyre. He's got Ryan Nielsen done. Now he's got a Lachlan Grant in front of him, trying to get any position he can in those hard compound tyres. Jeez, oh please, I tell you what, poor old Jack Ferguson, Andrew Ferguson, oh my goodness, he's going off chops. Now is McEwen as well. Look at him, the closing distance on those soft compound tyres versus the hard here for McEwen. This is on like Donkey Kong. We have got, what have we got? I can't even do the math here. We've got 16 laps here to go in this race. And McEwen is dancing all over the back end of these hard compound runners here. He's going to trailer park it around the outside here. He's got no option there for Lachlan Grant. And McEwen's just going to sail there. Next target is Jason McFadden, then Brandon Pierce. This is on like Donkey Kong for the next 10 or so laps.
Yeah, he's really taking advantage of those slow starting hard runners here in the restart. And Alex McEwen is now favourite for at least a podium here. Matt Cotter is out there in front. And look at that, Scott Cordham's made his way up to P2 as well. But now here, Alex McEwen in the meantime has just gone whap straight past Jason McFadden. It's incredible how quick he can cut his way through the field when he really wants to. His old mate down here, Nick Mello, is usually the man that you commend with a fast cutting. He likes to cut through the field like a hot knife through butter. And here he goes now, sending it up the inside, going to make it 3 wide between Nielsen and Grant. It's wowee, that's beautiful stuff there. And look at Nielsen just got caught out as well. Harley Marshall is trying to argue the point up the inside. I don't know. I think he's outbraked himself. He has. And there goes Nielsen up the inside. Grant's going to take a piece of that pie as well. Thank you very much. The old teammates just giving each other a wave on the way through. Andre Elliott now just tacking onto the back of them. But look at Harley Marshall now just trying to return serve on Lockie Grant with that, I guess, the realisation of the mistake that he made there through the turn 3, and now he makes the position stick again, leapfrogging back in front of Lachlan Grant, should I say, and makes his way up to P9. Geez, it's I'll tell you what, the action is never ending here in the AK Racing Gen 3 Supercars, as we see Mello just going around the outside of McFadden like he's standing still. Jesus Christ, the difference between the soft and hard tyre is quite evident at this stage of the race, Zach.
Yeah, definitely. You can see them all having a good jostle between each other. It's full on evident now with 14 laps left in this one now. The soft compound tyre is the tyre to be on here as Doc Elliott actually goes for a move up the inside of Lachlan Grant. So the even Stevens there, hard versus hard. And it looks like it's going to be advantage Lachlan Grant just on the outside of that corner. But Doc Elliott trying to get himself back inside the top 10. I tell you, anything can happen here in racing. And Elliott is right up there again inside that top 10. Doing very, very well here. This is cracking racing from every single one in sundry. You've got 2 soft runners at the front. You've got 2 hard compound tyres in 3rd and 4th. Then you've got 2 soft compound tyres in McEwen and Mallow Project 4 coming through at a rate of knots. And then you've got these boys all racing and tussling. And look at McEwen now on Brandon Pierce. No answer as Brandon Pierce got over the grip limitations of that hard compound tyre. That is McEwen into 4th place. Now he's got Dean Hanley in front of him for 3rd place as well. Absolute just dead set luck in the grand scheme of things for these boyos. When the safety car came out where they were on the track, it is a very, very cruel place to be, knowing that you could have had a P1 involved, and now the safety car stuffs you up at the last momentum, and McEwen is singing to the high heavens here. But have they got the distance, these soft tyres, to hold up between those hard compound tyre runners? We're only going to find out in 14 laps time. Yeah,
12 laps time even,
12.
Zach O'Reilly. Yeah, we're getting very close to the pointy end of this race. And you talk about luck, and it sometimes comes down to that. But yeah, I'll tell you what, you can't just win a race on luck, that's for sure. You need to really have your brain strapped in here in sim racing, because I've said it 1,000 times. You got the guys in real life who have a team of engineers behind them doing all the sums, doing all the thinking for them while they just navigate the car and steer it around the track. But out here in the sim racing land, these guys have got to do the sums all by themselves. and it's usually the cream that rises to the top. And here we go. There's a couple of blue and black cars getting right stuck in. A blue and brown car around the outside. They say blue and brown should never be found, but there you go. Alex McEwen goes up into the podium positions now. Poor old Dean Hanley's been holding onto that spot for so long, but the hard compound tyre just can't match it now with the pace of Alex McEwen now in the later stages of this race. And now we're down to about 10 laps to go, 11 laps to be concise. And I'll tell you what, the top two will be starting to sweat because they've seen the name McEwen just poking his way up the timing tower. Every time they look, he's a position higher. And I'll tell you what, he is setting the timing towers alight as well. So these boys at the front will be starting to piss themselves, Zach O'Reilly.
Yeah, they'll be looking holy shit. Here comes Project 4 at the last nth degree. We thought we had a good old tussle here for tonight, dominating this racing, but I reckon that Project 4 car is coming at a rate of knots. 1.8 seconds now is the gap. Keep an eye on that one, ladies and gentlemen at home. McEwen has dead set got his eye in and is hounding the back end of this guy. Look at Dean Hanley struggling on those hard compound tyres. Unfortunately, Nick Mallow has well and truly got the pace over him. There's nothing Dino can do on those hard tyres. He's going to have to settle there for fifth. And that's as best he's going to get unless Nick Mallow stuffs it royally up there. And Dino's up the inside. No, he's not. He's too far away. Understandably, those soft compound tyres with that safety car has come in and helped these boyos. Project 4 on the charge here. Yeah. Can we get a Project 4 versus 8K Racing finish for this one? This is going to be an absolute rip snorter. I'll tell you what here. If you're as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs at the moment, you'll be as nervous as a gypsy with a mortgage by the end of it and a priest at a Wiggles concert. I'll tell you what, it's all happening here. And here we go, Jesse Marshall trying to get on the back end of the old Jack Ferguson, the young Jack Ferguson, actually. What are these boys going to do? Are we going to see a safety car for the end of this one?
Surely
if it does, holy mackerel. That could be the last end of the degree. And there is a lap. No, it's not. That's Doc Elliott actually getting out of the way here of Jack Ferguson. No answers. Oh, look at the inside there. There goes Jesse Marshall, fully opportunistic. That is beautiful stuff there. Jack Ferguson on the slide, drifting Tokyo drift style. Gets the job done. So does Harley Marshall over Doc Elliott. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, beautiful stuff from all involved there, to be honest. If you just caught that from the top there, Andre Elliott just looked in his mirrors as Jesse Marshall just sent that up the inside. I'll tell you what, there was a lot of drivers out there on the grid that might not have just had a look there at the last minute and would have just headed for the apex. But Andre Elliott, man, he knew he was coming and he just opened up the steering there momentarily and avoided an accident. But speaking of accidents, there's a bit of door rubbing up just in front of them. That's Marshall and Ferguson. But Ferguson just coming out in front there in the Mustang, and now he's just set the competition back to Andre Elliott. Now these three are going at it hammer and tong, but we're going to have to leave them and go up the front a little bit because Pierce is having a look up the inside. Harley Marshall, a little bit of contact as well there through turn 2 or turn 1 if you want to just take it in braking zones, and Harley Marshall just coming out the better of it, and a big smoke signal there from Brandon Pierce in the brand new livery. It's a beautiful one as well. The old the juiced monster, I think it's the mango flavour there that you get there in the old servo. 2 for $6 sometimes if you're lucky, but he'll be looking for 2 positions for $6 here to make himself up into the top 5 is Brandon Pierce, but he's got a long way to go. It's only 9 laps to go now. Matt Cotter though, tell you what, he's extended that lead out in front, 7.6 seconds. Choice. Yeah, man. But look at tough looking them, but there we go. Here comes Project 4 v AK Racing now, and we said it was going to happen sooner or later, but it's come sooner than we all thought. Alex McEwen is on an absolute charge. Can he? I mean, he's going to take this position easily, I think, because he's just made that position and made that gap up so quickly. And no, is that Makota that's just made a mistake? No, it was someone in a yellow car. It's a Simblack's car of Jason McFadden just getting out of the way of this crew. But there's McEwen, there's Mello, and Scott Cordham getting double the, well, they pulled his pants down twice there by both the Project 4 boys as they go through. And I think Cordham would be on the blower to his teammate Matt Cotter and saying, gee whiz, we've only got 8 laps to go. You got 8 seconds in front. Let's have a look at how fast he's going, ladies and gentlemen at home. His last lap was a 1:15.2. You can see down there in the bottom right hand side of your screen.
Alex McEwen was 161, so he's quick. He was a second slower, but he's doing overtaking, so we'll probably get a better idea of his pace after the next lap. That he has a whole lap of free air in front of him. Wowee, this is going to be a grandstand finish, ladies and gentlemen. Who's your money on? Get it in, ladies and gentlemen, because Andrew and look at that, just dual sliding back here in 14th position.
Yeah, look at them go. They're absolutely singing to the high heavens. I'll tell you what, Ferguson versus Dion, both not the best of competitors off the circuit, but on the circuit, they don't care what's going on. Jack Ferguson's right-angled wing at the back. Dead set, absolutely singing to the high heavens. Look at that bumper hanging off it. He's been in the wars as Jack Ferguson, but... Oh, that's Alex Ferguson. Oh, Alex, fuck me. I'll tell you what. I've caught on to the Chris Munro fucking bug. I'll tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Ferguson, all right? There. Marshall and Nielsen, however, having a good old crack. But look at Dino Hanley. He's right on the back here of Scotty Cordham. Cordham's soft tyres have not held up to the challenge of the Matt Cotter in front of him. So a P4 could be on here for Dino. Kirsty has definitely slapped the cock and the balls, I reckon, at the safety car point, and he's right on top of him now. P4 sort of looked like he was in for P1, and it's gone backwards, but he is right on him now. Can he get the job done under braking? Oh, no, that's too far, Dino.
Too deep.
That's too far. He's going to lose that position once again. Caught him right up there. He's going to have to be careful because, that is Harley Marshall in the, no, it's not. That's a lap traffic car in the background. But Dino Hanley really, really putting the pressure on. Up the inside he goes. Drag race now down the front straightaway. Caught him on the slide. Dino's got the better exit. And there is still a little bit of overlap. Caught him's just giving him the old Tijuana on the rear end and said, I'm coming in to penetrate you, but Dino's come out the back of it into that one on the better side of the track. Go defensive, Dino, for fuck's sake. Oh, Dino, what are you doing, mate? Go up the inside. Cordham's overshot that corner.
Yeah,
there he goes. Thank you very much. Harley Marshall's involved in this one too now. Cordham's under all sorts of pressure. Mr. AK racing himself, really going backwards to the rain. And Dino's got 4th place. Here goes Harley Marshall up the inside. Easy as you like. Over the inside. He caught. And there, look at that stuff in the background. Brandon Pierce, 3 seconds away. That is a Rangiart Simblack car, not in this race, but looking at this spectacle going. How about that one? Look at Fergo versus Nielsen here as well. They're having a good old tussle. Look at this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. These two are going to go absolutely hammer and tong. This is Jack Ferguson, not the old father in Andrew Ferguson, but these Mustang boys know how to race. Ford Credit versus the old galloping, prancing horse. And Jack's going up the inside. Oh, that's ambitious stuff now. And you can see there, look at that. Right. Look at the run that he got there. I'll tell you what, Rebs, I wish he was in the commentary box tonight. He is not here. He could not afford the ticket up here because he was scared his Rolex would get stolen. But nonetheless, Fergo having a good old crack here. He's got the job done here on Nielsen. That is a cracking run out of the second last turn. Side by side they go. Noah's Ark style here, 2 by 2. Look at this stuff going on here. Fergo's got to be careful, though, because here comes Andre Elliott at the back of this one. Got the beautiful stuff. Ron Marshall's just gone bang with a $20 chat. Thank you, Ronald. And look at the stuff here as well. Just on a nick of time there for Ron Marshall. Super chatting as the best battle of the night's coming to fruition here.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that stuff. Up the inside goes Nielsen trying to defend. Fergo's trying the long way around. Can he get the job done? Can he get the power on? I think he can because here comes Doc Elliott. Not forgotten about has Dre at this stage in Andre. He's up the inside there. Nielsen fighting to hammer and tong. Don't overshoot it into the right-hander. Oh, a bit of bump and draft style from Nick, bloody hell, from Andre Elliott and Ryan Nielsen. No, Andre Elliott into the 11th place he goes. Jack Ferguson skipped off into the distance. What can Doc do over the top of Jack Ferguson, who is 100% going to be struggling with 6 laps to go here on these old soft compound tyres? Dino Hanley in 4th place, 2.5 seconds away from Nick Mello, is a position for podium on here at the dying stages of this Townsville race.
Absolute champagne sim racing from the top tier tonight. This has been one of the best races we've seen, and on such a challenging circuit as well. I tell you what, these guys are up against it. They've got the elements against them as well. We're racing in darkness, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the track lights ablaze, and it doesn't look great on your screens as well, viewers. But we're going to go up the front because Matt Cotter, that lead has gone from 8.3 seconds to 5.9 in 1 lap. I think we're in for an absolute grandstand finish with 4 laps to go, and Alex McEwen is setting bloody qualifying times here at the moment. We'll see what they're actually doing once they cross the line. But Matt Cotter here, his last was a 16.9. That's an absolute shocking lap from him. That's 17 seconds. Alex McEwen was a 15.9, so that's 2 seconds difference just in the last lap alone. We'll see what Cotter's doing here, and he's on for about a 16. It depends how his tyres are holding up, and it looks like they are sending off more smoke than Bob Marley's tour van at the moment. He's going to go for a really slow lap, a 16.4, 16.5 effectively last time around. Where's McEwen? He's going to cross the line for a 15.8. That's, 7 tenths the difference. Oh, I tell you what, it's all happening here. Nick Mellow's chiming in. He's only 1.3 seconds behind as well. His last was a 15.9, so that's even quicker than Alex McEwen by about 4 tenths. Oh boy, I'd love to. You'd just love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we tune in to SimSational TV every Sunday night, every Wednesday night, every Monday night, every Tuesday night. When we get that going again, that'll be going again this week. But I'll tell you what, it's just the mind boggles why people tune into that F1 absolute garbage.
Nonsense.
Where you see these clowns going around $1 million bloody cars, and they don't even battle each other. They just go and throw money at the garage. It's just absolute madness. But here is where the action is. Zach O'Reilly, get me out of here, because I'm just going through the roof. I'm turning red.
Turning red. He's about out of breath here. He's gone blue, in fact, now. He's gone from red to blue. It is done, and he managed to get a laugh in at the last stage. Oh, this is all like Donkey Kong here. Project 4 battling between each other. What can Dino Hanley do? He's 2.5 seconds away here with 2 laps to go. I think it's too far away for a podium for Dino, but the Project 4 guys are the ones to look at. 16.1 versus 16.1 for 3rd and 4th. And Alex McEwen, he is still charging. He is still trying to get through onto Matt Cotter. He can't even see him in the distance here. It's 3 laps to go.
7
and
tenths
I think
quicker
that is due. Oh, gee. Well, if you times 7 by 3, that's 2.1.
Whoa.
I don't think that's going to be enough here for McEwen to get the win. Cotter just has to not make one mistake for the rest of this race proceedings here. With 3 laps to go here, he is in the primary position to take the win at Townsville under lights. Jeez Louise, I tell you what, McEwen is on the prowl though. You can see the times though. His last lap was a 16.1. And he is well and truly down on his personal best. The tyres are dying in the arse here at the moment on those soft compound tyres. Matt Cotter's last lap was a 16.7, ladies and gentlemen. So it is a good 8 or 7 tenths of a second. Not close enough here at the dying moments, I think, for Alex McEwen. But who knows? One mistake for Cotter, and it's all over bar the shouting, I reckon. And McEwen could be in the hot seat here for the end of this race. Mallow versus McEwen, 1.3 seconds. Mallow versus Hanley, 1.9. Then you got Marshall versus Hanley, 2.5 seconds away. But Brandon Pierce is all over the arse end here of Scotty Cordham coming into the final turn now, because he's got to get a wriggle on here, because you can see that there's some battling behind of cars coming trying to uplap himself from Jason McFadden. He has every option to go for it. Poor old Pearso's car's looking a bit second-hand, though. But what has he got? Has he got the move? It looks like he's got the dead-set run here. He's going to try. Oh, no, he didn't. At the last second, he pulled out there, just like he has done many a times on Mrs. Pierce, and just gets the job done. But he's got the perfect run here. Round 2 is coming his way. And I think at this moment, he's going to go for the finish stroke. I reckon poor old Cordham's too far out on the outside. Fabian, thank you very much for the super chat. Pearso being too kind to the AK Racing owner here at the moment. Just go for it, son. Bugger it. It's the last 2 laps here. Who gives a rat's toss bag where you're going to finish? No one's going to kick you over that stuff. Cordham's way wide off into the bunda. He goes. Pearso's got the opportunity. He can't do it here. It's too ambitious to go around the outside trailer park girl style. He's got another lap to do something here to get himself into 6th place. This is racing, ladies and gentlemen, right to the nth degree. Dino Hanley's within 8 tenths as well of Nick Mallow on the final lap too. This is the battle where we want to see it. What has Brandon Pierce got? He's well and truly right up under him on the braking. I'll tell you what, at this stage, this is cracking stuff. Yellow headlights ablaze there for Pearso. Trying a long way around on the final turn he goes. He's only got 2 or 3 tenths. Can he get the switchback move on? Great exit here for Pearso, but he's on the wrong side of the track. Can he get the suck into turn 1? He goes. He's on the other side of the circuit. These are side-by-side drag race now. Down to turn 1 we go. Into turn 2, the hard braking. Cordham's on the inside. Pearso on the outside. Pearso's got a front wing that's absolutely lopsided at the moment. But look at the advantages.
No,
simulated drifting style there. I think Pearso's got the chockies. He does. He's got it. 6th place for Pearso. Holy mackerel. Beautiful stuff there from Brandon Pierce. Look at Dino Hanley, though, on the last lap, too. He has got all the chockies in front of him here. He's got the Easter eggs. He's got Cadbury's versus Red Tulip ready to go. Can he get the chockies over poor old Nick Mello in front of him? This is the final lap of the race. Matt Potter's going to take the win. No! That is Nick Mello absolutely brave checking himself. Dino, that is not a redress. Keep going, son. Keep going. That is 3rd place for you, done. Matt Cotter's going to come across the line and take the P1 here at this stage and skip his way to the distance. Alex McEwen doing sliding. Beautiful stuff. Don't give that back position back, Dino Hanley. I will slap you on the cock. I'll come up to Queensland and take that one. He's going to settle for 4th. No, Dino. Please.
He's
he's given up 5th place as well. For fuck's sake.
He's dead. Well, controversy descends on the end of there we go. He's for everyone watching at home, he's a paying customer of the Zach O'Reilly School of Going Fast. And he's just I think where were we? Jeddah last 2 years ago.
I don't give a rat's toss bag where we're fucking at.
I'm trying to draw a conclusion there, where you redress but smartly, and he's done that. He's done that not smartly. He's let Harley Marshall through as well. He's probably better off just taking the penalty there, or leave it to the stewards. But I think from all sundry, I think Nick Mello just lost it on his own accord, and Dean Hanley was on the scene just too quickly. But it wasn't his fault in my eyes, and certainly not in Zach O'Reilly's eyes. But the man of the moment is Matt Cotter. He will take the round win as well. He's trying to get that rear end to break traction. He does. We're going to sit here and watch him do some donuts as Alex McEwen crosses the line in 2nd. Nick Mello will take 3rd position. Harley Marshall in 4th. Dean Hanley in 5th. Brandon Pierce, the magician, pulls one out of his hat there for 6th. Scotty Cordham went backwards in the end there for 7th position. Lachlan Grant with a pretty good overall run there for 8th. We got Jesse Marshall in the top 10. Ron will be absolutely cheering with that. That's a great, another great result there for MBR. Junior Ferguson as well. He's dead set. He's got the wood over his old man here at the moment. So I think he'll be asking for some free rent down there at the Tingalpa household. Indeed. Andre Elliott in 11th. Ryan Nielsen in 12th. On who we got? Andre. Alex. Should I say, Sir Alex Ferguson in 13th, Hayden Cook in 14th, Dion Clerk 15th, Scotty Garrick leaving the server, not happy with his performance there in 16th. We've seen him up in the top 5 in the past, so hopefully some better things coming the way of the AC karting entry there for Scott Garrick. Will Kirk as well, a little bit undercooked. Benny Asplin as well undercooked. Jason McFadden undercooked. Steve Warwick, a great showing out there for his first time in the main grid. Alan Nielsen, Nathan Hughes, disappointing. Ezra Simons, disappointing. It's been a topsy-turvy round, but I tell you what, these street circuits never fail to disappoint, and I hope everyone at home has been as entertained as I have in the commentary box. We're going to give ourselves all a little round of applause, because that was a cracking round, Zachary.
Dead set was, mate. And I'll tell you what, these guys in P1 and 2 and 3 are dead set chomping at the bit to get on the stream. So I think it's time we go and join those boyos at the end of it, Christopher Munro. What a race that we saw in the grand scheme of things. That was SimSational, to put it lightly. Loved having all of you boys and girls and Panasonic air conditioners on board for that one. What a finale to that round. You just could never guess who was going to come first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth or 10th in that one. safety cars aboard, everything in sundry, you name it. And as always, Queensland in Townsville, it definitely shines there, ladies and gentlemen. That is one for the ages under lights that we've seen there. And I reckon these guys right now in the box, Christopher Munro, to take it away for this post-race interview session. Take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So many safety cars really in the last stanza of that race. Alex McEwen, your decision to pit again on the second one. We were a little bit perplexed here in the commentary box, but it seemed to have played into your hands with the fresh set of just the softs at the end of that race, but just came up a little bit short in the end. What was your thinking was in that second safety car?
I mean, to be honest, I called that last stint best case scenario, all things considered.
Yeah.
With the lead that Cotter had on that last safety car, him being on the softs, we had the disadvantage of having to work through the field. I think, given the circumstances, it was safe to say, managed to make the most of what we were presented with.
Yeah, well, for sure. We were using Scott Cordham as a bit of a measuring stick because you guys were pretty much nose to tail before that safety car period, and you opted to take the new set of tyres where Scott didn't. And in the end, I think it worked out best for you as well as Mello as well. So hats off to you for a little genius stroke of strategy.
Cheers.
Zach O'Reilly, you got some questions for our podium getters.
I'm going to go to Nick Mello first. Nicholas Mello, talk us through the tram stop section there. What in the game happened there?
Yeah, so Dean Hanley, for whatever reason tonight, seems like he was able to run nearly fresh tyre speed at the end of every stint on softs. Like, he was putting more than a second on us front-running guys at the end of every stint, so he just came at us like a train. And, I was just going through there. Obviously, I had to lift on my worn tyres, and Dean Hanley drilled me through Boundary Street, spun me around. But I just clutched it in, did a 360, and then I had Harley Marshall coming at me, and he pretty much wanted to kill me from earlier in the race because I went through, and I would say it was an aggressive but fair overtake. And then from that point onwards for the next 3 laps, he was just dive bombing me even when he had no chance of making the corner. And it was just, eventually I put a car between us and drove away. And then, he managed to get back into the melee. And then we had that pretty much 3-wide finish.
Jeez Louise, it looked so dicey. It literally looked like the old bit of net coating at that last minute. It sort of felt like that, but it was just that. I know what you feel. It was sort of like that as you jump over the tram tracks, you just lose that little bit of momentum, which is just enough for that car right on your clacker to give you the old puntosaurus. But it sounds like you had it absolutely on like Donkey Kong for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, I mean, pretty bittersweet podium in the end there, because I felt like in that race, a few moments through the race, I felt like I had more in me, and then I got pretty much as bad luck as I could have got with both safety cars, and I had to adapt my strategy both times to something just to survive it. And then, but I guess I'm glad that I didn't have any VR issues for the first time in ages. Can't even remember when. So yeah.
Very good stuff, mate. That was excellent. Well done to you for that third place drama, or not drama. You still got the chockies. That's the main thing. P3 is good, but Matt Cotter, wow. What a gamble on those on that safety car period there to go out on that fresh softs. Did you know you had at least a good 20 laps in them?
Oh, look, real quick, just want to give a quick shout out to my grandparents in Wales and Cordham as well for his first win and podium as well of the season. But that last one was a bit hairy to say the least.
It was a bit of a masterclass in tyre conservation as well, as we saw the competitors around you all taking the easy pit stop there for a new set, but you decided to stay out. So maybe a little bit of a shot fired to Project 4 because AK Racing team were on fire tonight.
Yeah, Gordon and I both had real good pace in those first 2 races, and that Second one, when that safety car was called, we were caught in a real tough spot because
Yeah.
we'd be on dead hards or we'd have to go to softs and just suffer. And
Yep.
that's what we did. And we're wondering why the Project 4 guys were pitting and pitting. And like, okay, we just got to run at the end. And 4 laps after the safety car went, my tyres were starting to go. And then by the end, had less grip than a cat on a wet floor, basically. It was horrible.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. That we were watching the pace lap to lap, and I think you're about between 8/10 and a second slower than the guys catching up to you in the end. But it was a masterstroke. The fact that you had clean air in front of you it turned out for the best for you and your team in the end.
Yeah, when Cord and I got clean air, we're like, just got to go, man. Got no choice and see what happens. And that's what happened, basically. But thanks.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you and AK Racing racing team. I think you guys took out the chockies for the overall team round and taking it to Project 4. And it's about time, to be honest. No one likes to see a domination of a team. We've seen that in the past in the F1 world with Mercedes and Red Bull, and now with McLaren. But where to next? The inter-team rivalry is an interesting one. So all boys, all 4 of you are going to have to be on your toes, I guess, for the next round.
Yeah, I mean, luckily tonight, I felt like Alex and I worked pretty well together, and we were always quick at different times.
Yep.
So yeah, whoever had the pace, we just let each other through, and it always came back to us or something like that. So yeah, no, who knows? Maybe I'll be running him off the road in a couple of rounds' time when it's all the schism for Project 43 is coming. But
yeah, someone clip that. So we can send that through to the
No. We
We're
always
clipping that one.
well.
That's going to be on the reels. Don't you worry about that one. The old Opus clips are going to be coming through hot.
Yeah.
For that, Nick Mello. But well done, everyone. Cracking event. Geez, you didn't know who was going to win whichever race. And it's a credit to you boys. At the end of it, familiar podium, ladies and gentlemen, out there in viewership land. McEwen, Cotter, and Mallow. I'll tell you what, it'd be O'Reilly and Munro involved in that one if we were still out there. But nonetheless, it is good to see you boys doing what you do best and driving the tits off these cars when it comes to the main event.
Absolutely.
And that is what we want to see. So I would like to say congratulations to all of you, and so will Christopher Munro.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys drove as O'Reilly says, drove the tits off it. We love to see the tits off, but I tell you what, don't mind the tits on as well. But we're going to look forward to the next instalment of SimSational TV, and it was after a bit of a false start in the Wednesday Cup a few rounds ago, or a few weeks ago now. We're going to hit the slopes of Mar de Clos there in France. It's actually a rich dude's backyard. He's one of the biggest collectors of Ferrari in the world, and he's built such a cracking motorsport playground in his backyard. We couldn't resist going there in the Wednesday Cup, so we're going to be back there for that round 5.
Happen, Mr. Drifter.
James Pedersen, thank you very much, mate. Awesome event all round, excellent commentary and superb driving for all. You're not wrong about that. James Pedersen with the super chat late. Thank you very much. Zach O'Reilly, I've lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
Take it away.
I'll continue the journey through the abyss of the commentary world, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Cracking stuff to everyone tonight, racers and viewers out there, all involved in the chat. Good to have you all with us. Thank you very much to every single super chatter. Ron Marshall, Fabian Fitness. We've got James Pedersen in there as well. If I've forgotten you, I apologise. The old chat's not going any further up. Ron did. I did mention Ron, didn't I?
Did you? I don't know.
I think I did. Anyway, Ron, you're there as well. You're a legend as well. But big thank you to every single person at AK Racing for putting this one on. SimSational TV is absolutely privileged to broadcast the racing. It has been a perfect one to finish on. And look at those lights over Townsville. Tell you what, go get your padlocks and everything rocked up, ladies and gentlemen, because they could be all gone by the night is over. But speaking of the night's over, it's not over. Tomorrow night, Monday,
LMU.
ASA Sprints. We'll be back for Le Mans Ultimate, and then Wednesday Cup's going to be on, and Far Gone Racing on Tuesday. So plenty coming your way this week. But I would like to
Mr.
say
Jufta.
a farewell for the next 2 rounds of the V8 Supercars. I'm not going to be around. I'm off on furlough up in there, and I'll be back for the final round of the event. You're going to be joined by Lindsay Muddle, Christopher Munro as well for the next 2. But it's been great to call it. Liam Hanley's gone bang with the $3 super chat as well.
Legend.
Thank you, Lethal. Get in there, son. If your old man wasn't as tight as a you-know-what, he would donate too. But beautiful stuff. Thanks to all of our racers. Congratulations to Matt Cotter, Alex McEwen, and Nicholas Mello for the final podium positions of that event. But as for now, it's goodbye from us here at SimSational TV. Christopher Munro puts the M in magnificent. I'm Zach O'Reilly, and guess what? You're not. As always, until the next time, though, ladies and gentlemen, keep it flat out.